くれてありがとう。Welcome, welcome. Hi everyone, how are you? Today we are going to play an incredibly relaxing couple of bouts of Suika game because I feel like there's a few reasons some of us could be stressed right now. And so yeah, we're gonna relax with some fruit. Fruity times! こんにちは、来てくれてありがとう。今日はね、スイカゲームやろうかなと思いますよ。ちょっと仕事のストレスとか、世界のストレスとか、いろんなストレスあるのでちょっとね、そのストレスをなんとか解決するために I wonder why! wonder why. Yes. But I can say work went well today, and I've got a couple fun announcements coming up, so I'm excited about that. Oh, this is very loud. Hold on, let me turn that down. The fruit were louder than I thought. I'm gonna turn that down. It's relaxing-ish. It's not the most unrelaxing game ever. Yeah. Hellumin! But yeah, long time no see. How are you, Blue Destiny? Work? You should turn on your PC. Ew, don't. I have so many emails I'm like procrastinating on right now. Yeah, I'm excited for the announcements too. First one went out earlier today. Like a TV show or something that I'll be on in a few days. And then like it was a super fun show, so I really enjoyed making it. And then yeah, there's like a bunch coming up. I'll have a pretty big one tomorrow. I've retweeted it before, but I didn't have the clearance to properly announce, but I just got the clearance to properly announce like an hour ago. And so I'm gonna be really loud about it from now on. It's so loud about it, it's gonna go on my resume. It's gonna be everywhere now that I'm allowed to talk about it. So, thank you again. Arigato. What kind of TV show is it? Oh, so the TV show that I announced today, it's called Miracle 100, and the idea behind the TV show is that they pick like a theme for every show, but the theme has to, like, each contestant has to have 100. And so the theme for this one was everyone's age equals 100. And as you guys know, I'm like 6 million years old, so we had to fudge the numbers a bit. But, you know, the magic of TV. So me and a couple other people appear on the show, and the idea is that our ages will add up to 100. They don't. They don't. But it's okay. Close enough. It was close enough for government work. Yeah. So and then we're singing a song together, and like the thing is that it's the first time I've ever sung with other people on TV ever in like my whole life. So I'm really excited because I love singing with other people the most. Like, I've done like streams where I get to sing with like Pam and stuff like that. And I've done like, you know, TV where I sing all by myself. But like this is the first time I've gotten to sing with friends, and it's really fun. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like, I've competed against friends before, but I've never competed with friends, you know? They did some pretty big math magic, because again, I'm like 6 million years old. I'm a pretty old star, so I was like, how did you make that into okay? So we'll go with it. But yeah, it's really fun. It's on the 8th. And I really like the song that I sing, and I made 2 new friends from the show. I didn't know them before the show, but the show introduced, like, they were like, if we try really hard, your ages together are almost 100. So sing with these 2. And I was like, okay. And so the show introduced me to 2 new lovely friends. One of them's a fairly famous cosplayer, and the other one, and she's really good at singing. I was like, dang, girl. And then the other one is an actress, and who's also really good at singing. I'm like, dang, you guys are so talented. So yeah, I hope you fall in love with them too. They're so wonderful. Both of them are entirely fluent in Japanese. I think the cosplayer streams quite a bit, and I know that the actress also has like a YouTube vlog or something like that. So you should definitely check them out. Their names are Abby and Tori. So yeah, quite nice. But yeah, almost 100, 6 million, 100, whatever. It's close enough. But yeah, lots of fun. Lots of fun. When is the music? We recorded it in August, so I'm amazed that I remembered it was coming. But I was like sitting there and I was like, wasn't that show gonna be like November, like early November? So I texted the producer and I'm like, is that show out yet? And then the producer's like, it's this week. And I was like, oh, let me post about it. Cause like we were okay to post about it in September, but I was like, I'm not gonna remember that. And so I didn't want to post about it until it was closer. So I posted about it a little bit ago. And yeah, so excited. Lumin's a young lady in her early time. I'm a whole star. Stars are really old. So and again, there's many of us. There's several of us. So, you know. All of us together. I don't say my age on the show. Cause I'm 6 billion. So. But yeah, anyway, it's a really cute concept. So I think it's TVer. TVer で放送するかな? Yeah, it's gonna be on Kansai Terebi only. So but you can watch it online on TVer, which I think might be Japan only, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's fun. Looks at the sky, yeah. Nah. Have I ever been live on TV? Yeah, I have. When was that? So I've done live TV a few times. There's like a news show called Pon that I've done. I've been on other like morning shows and news shows before. Nothing recent, but I have done live TV. I've done live performances on TV as well. I think there was one in Kyoto, and we did it from like a temple, like a really old temple, and that one was live, I think. But yeah, like I've done quite a bit of random stuff in my life. But I quite like I've done more live radio, I'd say, but yeah, live TV too. Not super rare. I have done it here and there. Always fun. I always enjoy TV. I recently did a show like a month or two ago. And I forgot to post about it. And I felt kind of bad, but it's okay. And that was like a monomane show, which is like where you do impressions of artists. And since it's not like my singing, I'm not as aggressive about talking about those because like it's not, you know, the whole point of the show is that I'm trying to sound like someone else. And as an artist, that's not really like my favorite. As an artist, that's not my goal. And so... yeah, I didn't really talk about that one that much, but that was a couple months ago. And it wasn't live, but it was recorded only like a week or two before the show aired, so it wasn't like as long ago. But yeah, still exciting, yeah. I mean, TV is very rarely live. Like, the only live TV you ever see is like Kohaku, and even Kohaku, like, a third or so of it is pre-recorded. Most TV is not live. But that's probably better because then, you know, if there's any issues, they can they can fix them. But yeah, I always enjoy it. It's always fun. I hope the show does well. It's a pilot, so kind of like Masked Singer and stuff like that. It's like a show that they want to syndicate. They want to make it a regular show like X Factor or Masked Singer and stuff like that. And so it's a pilot, and if it goes well, they're gonna make more of them. And that might not include me at all, and that's fine. I just hope the show is successful because it's a really good concept. Because it's not only ages. Like sometimes it'll be like, you know, they get 100 on, you know, karaoke systems, or they get like 100. They have 100 Miku figures or something like that. Like it can be 100 of anything. So like, you know, everybody has like 100 buttons on their shirt or something like that. Like you can make 100 out of lots of things. So yeah, so it's an interesting concept. So I'd like to see how far it can go. 100 Mikuf, it me. It me. Right. Yeah, so stuff like that. Like, you know, 100. I don't know. 100. What else could we do? Have 100 of? Oh, like 100 pairs of eyes or something like that. It could be like a whole chorus or something like that. Could be very fun. 100 manga, but I would not be able to be in that show because I have way more than that. 100 volumes of One Piece. I have more than 500 books. I think my manga count, we're looking at... Oof. We're looking at... maybe 3K? Right now, I got rid of some. So I think we're around 3K at the moment. You know, try not to go crazy. Try not to go crazy, you know. You know. Hellumin, Mayaki, how are you? 100 Nikkei's? Yeah. Or, you know, something. 100 video games that you own. I could, yeah, probably. I don't think I have quite 100, but I could get there. I could get there for the show. We could fudge the numbers a bit. And it's like, everybody together has 100. So, like, for instance, like, if I'm playing 30 games and my friend's playing 30 games, my other friend's playing 40 games. There we go. That's how math works. That's 100. So there you go. Something like that. Something like that. Nah. All good. あれ? なんか変になってきてるぞ。変になってきてるぞ。何これ？引っ越してんな。どうしよう。I want that app. Okay, well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll figure it out. We can get this going. How many did you decide to finally give away? Okay, so about a month or so ago, I was like, you know what I don't actually like that much? Blue Lock. So I got rid of Blue Lock. I got rid of Chainsaw Man because I don't see myself rereading it because it distresses me. I got rid of a couple old manga that, again, didn't see myself rereading. So, like, Hanamaru-den and Mr. Full Swing and a few others. And so I got rid of, like, a solid 30 books. I'm gonna get the fancy version of Ruroken, so I got rid of the cheap version because I'm gonna get the collector's edition, which will take up last room somehow because they're collected volumes. So, yeah, I actually got rid of, like, a solid 30 books, and Stella also got rid of like a solid 20, so 60-ish books. Yeah, I thought I did pretty well. And like, I'm starting to be more ruthless. Like, if I don't think I really like actually like that manga, I go in and like, I liked Blue Lock, but I'm not gonna reread Blue Lock, and I really fell off the Blue Lock train at about volume 6, so I got rid of Blue Lock. Sorry, Blue Lock. And yeah, like that kind of thing. Just stuff I just don't see myself. Use it again. Nah. Hellumin, how about you? So I got rid of 1%. That's good for me though. Like, in the grand scheme of things, すごくない? In the grand scheme of things, すごくない? See, I grew up a bit. Yeah. I'm an adult. I got rid of like 1% of my 1 whole percent. Amazing. So proud of me. Proud of me. Nah. Boop. Alright, I gotta think about this a little bit. What should I do here? Yeah. どうしよう。ちょっと待って。あ、これいける。Wee. Ah, no, the pineapple's so far from the other pineapple. Nah. No. Ah. Well, that'll work. Okay, guys, you shift over there. That's fine. Adultery meant be. Oh. Oh. ちょっと違うかな? It's a little bit different. No, adulting. The way of adulting. Yes. Adultery. No. Blue Lock is that series where they eliminate soccer players in a battle royale gauntlet. Yeah. So, like, my feeling was that's a terrible way. Because, like, they're doing it because, like, if there aren't high stakes, then Japan will never get better at soccer. And I was like, no, that's a waste of everyone's time. Is what I thought about, like, that particular program that they were doing at Blue Lock. I was like, that's not how it should work. Like, it shouldn't be a battle royale. It's soccer. And basically, the idea behind Blue Lock is that everybody is a main character. But, like, that means there were too many. There were too many. And it just wasn't working for me. And so, yeah, I had to give up Blue Lock. And it got really tiring after a while, I'd say. So, yeah, I just kind of stopped with Blue Lock. Alright. Come on, apples! Chew. 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 Good job. Okay. Nya. Nya. I'm waiting for another mikan, but like, なかなか来ないにゃ。あれ？あ、これいけるかも。頑張って。Come on. お？なんかいける。おお。ナイス！ナイス！けどみかんちゃんがちょっとね、邪魔になっちゃいそう。どうしようかな。あ、みかんゲットしたんだけど、あら入らない。あらま、入らんぞ。Nya. Tibbity Cracket, how are you? Oh, it keeps bugging out on you? I've been getting a lot of people saying that recently. I'm like, what goes on, guys? What you doing? This is a conspiracy. YouTube. 'Tis a conspiracy. But it's okay. I'm an adult. I can do. No. Yes. All right. Yeah, what's going on with shadow banning? What's going on? Wait, hold on. Did something happen to Dun-chan? ちょっと待って。I call it soccer. Yeah, because we call it soccer in Japan. So, サッカーですよ。I can call it football too, because, you know, Stella's British, so. I understand both. But I generally go with whatever Japan calls it, because, you know, that's where I am. That's where I am. Nah. Kaiser was on a date, so Kaiser was late. How did it go? The idea behind Blue Lock is that they gathered all the best players in the country at a single position in an attempt to naraku them into the ultimate player that could lead the national to naraku them. I love how that's a verb now. in an attempt to naraku them. Yeah, it really didn't. It just, it's a good manga. I just, you know, I didn't think it was very realistic or very good for the sport. I like sports manga, which is why I read it in the first place. But I was like, that shouldn't be how sports work. I don't think we should be narakuing. I don't think we should be narakuing sports people. Seems bad. How's you? Rage game of Suika. Oh, you getting tired of it? I love it. It makes me calmer. Makes me a bit calmer. Because otherwise I'd be a little too stressed. Nah. Soccer was originally the British phrase, but they adopted football while they... Oh, they used to use soccer? そうなんだ、それを知らなかった。I didn't know that. It's always been... Oh no. So in Germany, it's always been... Hold on, I watched Weiss Cruise. I can say that. Is that Z? Fußball? Like that? Or is it the S? Wait, hold on. Is it the S? Foosball? It's an S. I got it. Okay. Hold on. I watched Weiss Cruise. I remember this. I just had to dig out some core memories real fast. You know. Just had to dig them out. You know. Pshoo. Pshoo. Let's see here. Sharp S sound. Aren't all S sounds kind of sharp? No? Okay. Just me? Alright. Okay. Pew. Okay. Are. Beamia! Let's see if I can push it. Push! 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 No? Okay. That's cool too. Push? How come Nashi-chan is so light? Well, whatever. Maybe there? Maybe here? Hopefully this works. Okay, good. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, bye. Maybe here? No, don't roll! Okay. That's okay, you could roll. I'll forgive you for rolling. Meow, 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 meow. So the original date was a no-show. Rude. During the first day of the festival, so I decided to take my time. During that time, however, I met another dragon. Ooh, that's better. Okay, yeah, you don't want a no-show anyway. Ooh. We don't want any ghosting dragons up in here. In the 80s, there was an evil G.I. Joe character who was made out of the combined DNA of various villains and dictators. Oh, science narakuing. Nice, nice. I like how everybody just knows this term. Everybody's like, yeah, we watched Inuyasha. We understand how this works. We got this. We got this. No problem. Okay. Alright. Alright. This is going okay. Not great. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Wait, don't go that way. Whatever. Okay. You can if you want. I'm not gonna stop you. You can do whatever you want. You're a free persimmon. If only those two were together, then we could have another watermelon. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I can make this work. I can make this work. Not a problemo. There we go, melon dicta. And then if you could kindly go that way, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Can you fit in there? No, that's cool too. You don't have to. I won't make you do anything you don't want to do. You're a free grape. What does naraku mean? Okay, so this is actually like a thing that is covered a lot in Japanese mythology, but there's this idea that if you make a pot of poison and make a whole bunch of like scary demons or bugs fight each other in the pot, the bug or the demon that comes out victorious that ate all of the other defeated demons will be the strongest demon and or bug. And this is like you'll come across this in like a lot of like yokai or horror stories from Japan. But we're calling it narakuing because the main bad guy in Inuyasha is named Naraku, and that's how he was created. He was like one of these like bug pot demons. And yeah, now you know. Yeah, now you know. So if you watched Inuyasha, that's what that is. But if you forgot his origins or if you didn't watch Inuyasha, there you go. There's your explanation. Mom Psycho, yeah, had something like that. Yeah. It's really common in Japanese historic tales and myth. Like something like that shows up in like Mushishi. I think something like that shows up in Natsume Yujincho. Like shows up everywhere. So it's one of those like anime aru aru. When you get really used to it, you're like, oh yeah, that. Anime aru aru. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yokai battle royale. So, yeah. And so yeah, they're trying to naraku the boy, the football players in Blue Lock, and I just didn't think that was like a very efficient way of making a good football team. soccer team, whatever I don't know what we're calling it right now. Football or soccer team. I didn't think it was very efficient. Because, 11 of them do have to play together at the same time. So I was like, maybe you should teach them how to be a better team rather than a better individual. But that's just me because I like team sports and I also like Aowashi. Of the 2 soccer anime that came out that season, I think Aowashi is the better soccer anime, but Blue Lock is more sensationalist. So if you like sensational anime, Blue Lock is great for that. But if you like actual soccer, I think Aowashi is significantly better. I stand Aowashi in this house. This is an Aowashi house. ですよ。ですよね。I know. ウィ。これでいけるかにゃ。あ、もう片方に。Okay, what should I do here? I don't think I should do that. Okay. Maybe this? うい、あれ、ダメだったにゃ、もう怖いにゃ。Okay. Gonna drive home, drive safely. Have a good drive and drive safely. Make sure to turn on all of your blinkers, your turning blinkers and other driving. I don't know much about driving, can you tell? Signal properly and make sure you, what else is good? Don't go over the speed limit or anything. And look both ways before you drive. I don't know if that's good advice. Actually, I'm gonna stop giving you advice on driving. I'm a backseat driver here. I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Rip! I was so close! I'm gonna do it again. Well, the thing with Blue Lock is that they all play the same position. Yeah, I know, but like, how is that helpful? It's not helpful. How are you gonna compete against people that play the same position as you? Just make a better team. Anyway. Backseat driver versus backseat gamer, which is worse? Backseat driver because then you could like get in an accident. Where in a backseat like game, you can just play the game again, so it's fine. Yeah. Oh no, that makes me worse because I'm a backseat driver. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I tend to switch between soccer and football myself depending on who I'm talking with. Same with Celsius and Fahrenheit. Yeah! I switch to... Like, if I'm talking to Stella, I usually say football. But, like... Japan is soccer and the US is soccer. So if there's a lot of, like, Americans around or Japanese people, then I generally go soccer. Because, like, football can also be mistaken with American football. Amifto. Like, I Shield 21. So I never quite know what to say in that situation. I usually say American football when I say it though. Like I never just say like football for American football because I know football means soccer to most people. So it's just hard. I just go with everything. We just say everything in this house. Nah. Blue Lock decided to take the American route and focus on the individual. They do explain that in the show, yeah. They're like, oh, it's it's because other markets have superstar players like Messi and, I don't know, Beckham or something. I know those are the only 2 soccer players I know. And they're not wrong. So, like, superstar players are useful. Like, Japan also has a couple superstar players, just not in soccer. Like, Otani Shohei is a superstar baseball player. Yeah, and stuff like that. So, like, they're not wrong. You do need a superstar. But... I do also think that Japan specializes in cooperative play, and I feel like maybe they could just be a little better. Well, because, like, let me be rude to Japan's men's team here for a second. I'm sorry, Japan's men's soccer team. Your women's team's awesome. It's, like, top class. It's the best in the world. So, maybe it's y'all. Maybe you just need to be better. Your women's team, best in the world. So, I'm just saying. Like, you're really good at soccer. If you're looking at your women's team, maybe the guys should be as good. If the women play against the guys, they'll win. So, I'm just saying. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do. Unlike most anime with a heavy focus on teamwork, friendship, and healthy rivalries, Blue Lock decided to focus on explore the individual and the downsides that come with it. I just don't really like any of the characters. Really good art, though. The real issue is that the best Japanese athletes play other sports besides soccer. Because, no, that's not true. Soccer is more popular in Japan than most other sports. Like, I think people think that baseball is more popular, but that's not true. All the guys want to play soccer. They want to be professional soccer players. I used to be a teacher in public schools. I know. All the middle school boys were like, I want to be a professional soccer player when I grow up. Baseball's not that popular here. Like, it's really popular, but it's not as popular as soccer. And basketball's not that popular. Like, the most popular sport in Japan is soccer. The women's team is amazing. They don't play they play soccer. So I don't know. They should be better at it. Captain Tsubasa's massive. Yeah, Nadeshiko rocks. That's right, Yaki. Nadeshiko. Nadeshiko Japan's amazing. Support your women's teams because they are awesome. 100% of the time, they are the best. Night, thank you. Have a great Betty, bye-bye. I hope you sleep well. Get lots of rest. Nah. Yeah, they just need to get good then. Ice sticker, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They just need to get better. And I think, again, Japan really specializes in cooperative play, like in baseball and stuff like that. It's also more about cooperative play. Ohtani is a superstar for sure. Like, he can just win a game all on his own basically because he's amazing. But Japan is consistently like a world level for baseball, and it's not just home run after home run or anything like that. It's because they're really good at cooperative play. So I think maybe focusing on that might not be a bad idea. Just saying. Just saying. Nadeshiko's awesome because they're good at passing. They're really good at passing, and that's kind of what Awashi also kind of focuses on, is passing. And I'm like, yeah, passing. Pass the ball. Nah. Yeah. It's actually, in America, soccer is not popular. 全然人気ないもんな、アメリカだと。そう、アメリカはやっぱりアメフト1位かな。そしてバスケットボールとかはすごく人気ですよね。でも、サッカーはいまいちですね。で、野球もいまいちそんなに人気じゃない。やっぱり大谷さんとかイチローさんとかはアメリカでもすごく人気あるんだけど、でも野球自体がそんなに人気じゃない気がするね。残念、私野球大好きなんですよ。もう阪神タイガースフリーちなみにね、ルミンはね、オリオールズが好きです。昔のリッピケンさん大好き。Just so you guys know, I'm a huge baseball fan, so we're not getting into it too much because I will never stop. But I'm a baseball fan, and I cheer for the Hanshin Tigers and the Orioles specifically. Yay, Baltimore! Americans prefer Amifto because it has more numbers on the points. Yeah, Americans are like countings. Counting's fun when the numbers get big. そうなんですよ。野球はね、アメリカのパストタイムって言われてるんだけど、全然誰も見てないんですよ。ルミ一人で見てるやん。一人で見てますよ。パパと一緒によく見に行ったよ。I watched women's soccer matches before and it's pretty brutal. Oh yeah, they just go oh my god, I don't want to be mean to guys soccer, but I'm just gonna be mean a little bit more. Men's soccer, anybody even looks like they got even close to them and they'll be like, ah, and they'll roll on the ground like, oh, they hit me. But women's soccer, they're literally gushing blood, the grass is stained red with the blood of their enemies, and they're like, ah, they'll kick each other in the face. Women's soccer is so cool. Let's all love women's soccer. It's so cool. It's They're so cool. They're just like, ksha, ksha, and they never complain because women are very good at taking pain. Yeah. Women have to have whole babies. You know how painful that is? Babies are really big. So like, terrifying. Let's not think about it anymore. No. Okay, get out of my brain. Ew. Okay. Anyway, yeah, women have very high pain thresholds. Have you ever seen those TikTok or Instagram videos where like there's like those like pain like simulator things, and like the guy will do it, and like he'll be at like, you know, level 5 and be like on the ground, and then he gives it to his girlfriend and he's like at like 25, like, you don't feel anything yet? And she's like, this is fine. It's because that's what we deal with all the time, guys. Like, it just hurts all the time. Everything. Like, it's like, oh, today I feel like death. Great. Cool, gotta go to work. Anyway, I have had times where like I am singing on stage and like, you know, how do I want to describe this in a way that's not the worst? The gates of hell beckon, and and yeah, I'm like singing on stage mid-song and I'm like, how about that? And that's where it hit. I'm like, how about that? But it works really well if I'm doing a song that's like really like, yeah, right? So I'll be like like, you know, if it's like a song like, you know, spinning around, you'd be like, Melanie to Zenkin. Like, just like, I hate this. You know, fun stuff. Yeah, this is how you deal with the pain that makes you a superstar. Yeah, those videos are so funny, because, like, the guys will just be, like, rolling around, like, owie, it hurts, and, like, because they're not used to it, it's not their fault, like, you know, there's a reason man colds are a thing. Yeah, they're just not used to being in massive amounts of pain all the time, and so, and then their girlfriends are like, what? Is this a problem for you? Oh, muffin, let me go make you a hot chocolate. I'll go make you hot chocolate, it'll be all better. And then they understand, and then we get more hot chocolate. Yay! A friend calls those the lady times. Oh yes, the lady times. I call it D-Day. Because it's short for Death Day. Death Day. So every once in a while you'll hear me be like, yeah, it's D-Day, so like it hurts. It hurt though. But yeah, so there's been a couple times like I've nearly passed out on stage because like it's already very it's a lot of work to, you know, sing on stage, and like I do a lot of live performances, or at least at one point in time I did a lot of live performances, and I would sometimes do like 2 a day, and if it hits in the middle of like a 1 hour set, there's just nothing I can do about it, and so I just stay. And It kind of helps to sing through the pain rather than like take a break. Taking a break won't help because if I sit down, I'll never get back up again. So I'm all like, all right, well, here we go. We're just going to do like a really shouty song now. Yeah. So there's been a couple times I've nearly passed out because of it. And I'm really weak to trains. Like I get really dizzy on trains. I love trains. But on D-Day, I get really dizzy very easily, and so, yeah, that's been bad. But I've not passed out on stage yet. So, just almost. Not actually passed out yet. So worked out. It was fine. It worked. We were fine. We did a good job. But yeah. Vertigo issues? I guess so, yeah. I am also pretty weak to, like VR games, so I think it's vertigo. Yeah, and like it's usually totally fine, but like the first day of D-Day, it gets me every time, so I have to sit and or plan extra time so I can get off of the train periodically and just wait till the next train comes on the platform. I've done that before. It's also like there's a lot of people on trains, and you're going sideways, right? And so every once in a while, I'll just get really, really dizzy, and if there's no seat available, then I'll just get off and wait till the next train after I feel a little bit better. So I've done that before. But most people, like, if I turn really gray. Like, I get really gray if I'm about to pass out. So people have noticed in the past and been like, do you need to sit? And I'm like, I do need to sit, thank you. And they're like, oh, you look like you're about to die. And I'm like, I am, thank you. Thanks for noticing. And they're like, you're gray. And I'm like, I am. That's why I wear blush. But yeah, everybody's really, really nice. Like, if they think you look like you're gonna be sick, they're like, you should sit. You should sit. And I'm like, thank you. Periodic. Chippity. Nice. Yeah, Lumin's light dulls a bit, cause like, you know, this inner glow, inner glow, it disappears. And I'm just like, but I still gotta go to work. So, yeah. Speaking of work, today's work went really fast. They had scheduled 2 hours, and it was like 2 children's songs, and then like it's like for a kid's toy. It's like one of those like, you know, preschool toys where like you press a button and it goes A, B, C, banana, or something like that. Like, you know, xylophone, like all of those, like the ABC toys. For babies and stuff, and they had planned 2 hours because it was quite a lot of material, but we just like breezed right through it. I mean, I guess I know how to say apple and banana really well. Also cake. I was like, A, apple, B, banana. We did have a whole conversation because it was 3 bananas shown, and I was like, I think we should also have a bananas just in case, because that would be technically correct if it's a bunch of bananas. And they were like, okay, but like that's like the most complicated it got. So today was nice and easy. Today was nice and easy. I'm good at saying A is for apple. And then I sung the ABC song and happy birthday. And yeah, it went by in only about 40 minutes. So I got home early and I was able to answer a few emails, but then there were some really hard emails. And I was like, ooh. But I also have a deadline for one of these, and so I need to answer that imminently. So, maybe after today's stream, I'll answer that. But I'm scared. I'm scared. Like it's a great email. Like it's a good thing. But like it's too real. it's not real in my heart yet. So I'm like, I don't know how to answer. You know? Oh wait, I should have let them touch. Oops. Oopsies. Yattechimata. Banana. Oh, that's a good idea. So if it's like 3 bananas instead of banana, it's banana. I don't know. That's hard. I can't count like that. That's hard. Well, I'll just let you do that then. I feel like this is going badly. This round. This round's not going well. Would you? Okay, let me try and sort this out, cause this is a trash fire right here. Oh, that's a pretty good song I just made right there. I don't hate that. Yosh. Touch. Okay. 遠くない。かきちゃん邪魔。季節なんだけどな。Okay, let's see what we can do to clean some of this up. Cause oh no! Does anyone actually like answering email? No. You know, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I don't hate it. It's just stressing me out cause it's yay. It's just stressing me out cause like I'm an anxious person. That's like all I can really say cause like it's a good email. Like it's a great email. But like I'm gonna talk to Stella about it cause like it's one of those things where like there's no reason like it's such a good thing that's happening, but it's something that I've wanted for like a while, and so because of that I'm feeling it's like it's happening, so it's like so real, and I don't know what to do, so I'm feeling really uji and I really want to like go shopping. So the thing is, like, some people deal with their emotions with food. Some people deal with their emotions with alcohol. For me, it's buying manga and or houseplants. And so I'm so glad that this like home goods store that was on my way home from today's studio, and I know exactly where it is because today's studio is where I stress bought the eucalyptus and the fern. But yeah, so today's job was at that same studio, and I was like, oh no, if that store's open, like today is a day that I'm definitely accidentally gonna buy another tree. And luckily it was closed for like a tekyubi. It was what's that in English? It was one of the store's closed days. And I was like, oh thank goodness, now I don't have to buy another tree. But like I then almost bought a houseplant, but then I didn't see any I really liked. And like, but it's getting really dangerous. So yeah, I buy books. I did buy a book on the way home. But I had planned on buying that book anyway, and the last bookstore I went to didn't have it. So I was like, next time I see a bookstore, I'll look for it. So I had planned to buy it anyway today. But I nearly almost bought a whole tree again. So, you know, a little stressed. Poor Stella. Nande poor Stella. Plant update incoming, sure. So the fern, doing good. The eucalyptus, not good. I repotted it. So I think the last time I told you about the eucalyptus, we suspected it had root rot. But it took me, unfortunately, like a week or so to dig it up and check the roots. I was too busy. It was an all-day project. I literally started at about noon, and I was doing it until about 10 p.m. So I checked the roots, and the roots were destroyed. Like, almost nothing wasn't rotting. But some of the roots were really old and very tree-like, and so I couldn't really get through them very easily. And so I wasn't able to cut off all the damaged parts like I had hoped, because I don't have a saw. But I thought maybe I had done enough, but it's been about a week and a half, and I don't see anything living that is new, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I'm not gonna give up on it quite yet. I'm gonna wait for another 2 weeks or so. I'm still watering it when it's dry. And I'm gonna see if it revives, but if there's a couple branches where the leaves don't look entirely dead yet, and so if it survives, I will keep it. If not, I will find a new plant that is harder to kill. Fern's doing great. The marigold is popping. The basil's about at the end of its life, but it's hanging on. The verbenia's doing great. Cranberries, I don't know if I told you I got any cranberries, but I have cranberries. Cranberries doing great. They're fine. Blueberries doing great. And greenhouse plant, I have moved inside because it's gotten cold. And greenhouse plant doing great. So everybody else is doing good. But yeah, Yukari-chan, the eucalyptus, did not survive probably, but I'm still holding out hope that maybe she will. But if she doesn't, I will get another plant. I did really like Yukari-chan because she smelled really good. So I will try and get another beautiful, fragrant baby. But I think marigolds are annual, not perennials. So once the marigold and the basil, which is also a perennial, die this season, I will be replacing them with annuals so that I don't have to keep watching my babies die. But yeah, that's about all. Are the cranberries seeing zombie yet? No. You know, I've never thought of hardware stores in Japan before. We have hardware stores. I don't like the idea of you owning it. Like we've got like home centers, like Home Depot, but they also sell I guess Home Depot sells curtains. But yeah, we've got like home goods stores that have like little hand saws. You don't want me to have a saw? Rude. I'd be good with a saw. I'd go like zoom 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 zoom. It would be fun. You don't think I'd be good with a saw? I think I would. I think I'd be excellent with a saw. So this is not going well. Stella's home. Hi, Stella. La 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 la. She says hello in a very soft voice. Stella came home from her work meeting. Kana. They moved the time. Eh? You haven't had the meeting yet, but you've been gone since like 11. Uh-huh. She had a meeting, but then... Yeah, I thought you were gonna come home between your meetings. Yeah? What'd you eat? Num. She had a sandwich. And some salad. Nice! Yeah, I get it. I was also really hungry. そうだね. Okay. Gasp? Oh, they moved the meetings. Oh, 教えてよ、もう。最悪じゃん。微妙。あれ。That sucks. I'm sorry that happened. 時間大丈夫？この後なんかね。Okay. Well, she's got a meeting because we got plans with Chisa tonight. Like, we're going to a delicious restaurant. なあ、ステラちゃん、こんばんにゃ。What kind of self-respecting hardware store is not selling curtains? That's what, yeah, no, you're not wrong. They do have curtains. Sorry, I haven't really been in a Home Depot since I was like 12. So I don't know what they have. No! 毎回大体一緒. Alright, let's try this again. Does Chisa always order sushi? Today we are going to... Are we going to sushi today? Oh my god, we are. Actually, Chisa does always order sushi. We were at a pizza place a couple days ago though, and... I mean, I guess I did all the ordering, because like we just ordered for the table. But it's kind of funny how much Chisa loves seafood, because she's like 100% allergic to shellfish. So, you know... But yeah, we are eating seafood today. You're not wrong. Chisa eats so much sushi. Hellumin, 来てくれてありがとう. You don't trust me with a saw? I think I'd be good with a saw. Brum brum. Brum brum. ね。悪くないでしょ? Alright. The Great Sushi Destroyer. I feel like her dad might like sushi more than her though. Somehow. その気がする. よいしょ. Alright. Looking good. ぴょん。Bloop. どうしようかな。あれ。Oh no. いちごちゃん邪魔になっちゃう気がする。ぷよん。にゃ。OK。どうしよう。I was trying to remember Lollipop Chainsaw, but I remembered Honey Pop instead. And now Honey Pop Chainsaw is in my head. Well, that makes Honey Pop a very different kind of game. That makes that a different kind of plot. Or does it? Honestly, that's starting to sound like Galgun, but that's fun. Okay, we can work with that. We can work with that. Oh, Cricket's new cat tree arrived today, so now she'll have a beautiful cat tree. Her old cat tree was looking real rough, and so I'm really glad that we managed to get her a new one so that she's not a cat hobo anymore. It was pretty bad, I have to say. It was pretty bad. But she's no more kitty hobo. Pyong! ま。にゃーうじゃ。よし、あら、いちごちゃん。ダメでしょ？ Okay, so we're gonna see how far we can get today. I'd really like it if I can get over 10k score today, but I'm not really sure if I can. But I'll try. I'll do my most best. Does Cricket actually care about the cat tree? She does. She likes the cat tree. She likes being above us so she can look down on her kingdom. So she can look down on her kingdom. So she quite likes her cat tree. And she ripped it to shreds with her big queen claws. And so, like a queen claw. For those of you that like K-pop. Yeah, so we had to get her a new one. So her Christmas present this year is the new cat tree. But the thing is that, like, it's kind of early. But oh well, she can play with it early, whatever. I'm just happy that we found a really cute one, so yeah. Cricket in her new castle. So da yo. Oh yeah, some cats don't really like them that much, but Cricket doesn't play really, but she likes climbing, but she's also got arthritis. So we got her a cat tree with very close together steps so that she doesn't have to climb really. So that should work out. That should work for her. ね、なんか微妙。Ah, that worked. Oh no, ダメじゃん。あ、でも大丈夫。
よし。あ、よし。
Okay. Yeah, you can't hide a present from a cat for long anyway. So it's okay. It's okay. She can have it. She can have it early. We'll just put a bow on it on Christmas and call it a day. If we put a bow on it on Christmas, she'll know it's a Christmas present. One day we put a bow on her. She didn't like that. She did not like that whatsoever. Which was sad because she was so cute. Cat hobo made you laugh? Yeah, we didn't want her to be a cat hobo anymore. Yeah, she revolted. I do have a picture of her with the bow, so I'll probably post that. But she was very angry about it. But she was so cute, so I didn't really care. I didn't really care. We've bought her little outfits before. She really doesn't like them. So, we don't keep them on her, but we'll put them on and then take a picture and then take it right off again. We'll take it right off again so she doesn't get too mad at us. But she is really cute. Really cute. It's not our fault. What about cat hobos? Oh, I was just saying that, like, you know, she had this, like, really old cat tree that we got her, like, 4 or 5 years ago. We actually inherited it from a friend whose cats didn't care about it. And she really liked it. And so she ripped it to shreds. And we couldn't find replacements for the parts of the tree because we have literally no idea what cat tree this was. And we could not find replacements. So it's so raggedy looking that it's, like, not kosher. And so she was looking like a cat hobo for a bit. Yeah, so we got her a nice new cat tree. I know the maker, so I can get replacement parts after she rips through them. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I've never put boots on her, but, like, sometimes I'll put, like, a little cape on her. Like, a little, like, you know, Christmas cape or, like, a Halloween bat cape. And she does not like it. But she's so cute, it's not my fault. Maybe she should stop being so cute all the time, I say as I victim blame my cat. Victim blaming my cat for being so cute. But yeah. She's really cute. There's nothing I can do about it. They either are indifferent or they hate them, and I don't want to do anything she hates, so I take it right off after I get a picture. But especially if we get, like, bows or something, like on a box or a present, I'll just like put it on her for like a minute. It's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. She shouldn't get that mad, right? Nah. She gets really mad. Alright. どうしようかな. Short cat or big cat? She's pretty small cat. She's very cat proportions. She's like a medium hair. It's not quite a short hair, but it's not quite a long hair. It's like a short medium hair, tortoiseshell, small build, very sassy, kind of a short tail, but not like a super short tail. It's just like shorter than you'd expect tail. Surprisingly long whiskers. And then the most cutest kissable baby nose. She's got a really pretty face. The shelter that we got her from described her as a queen. They were like, she's a beautiful queen. It was like, she was like a bijou no jou. Bijou no jou is how the shelter described her. It was a beautiful queen. And they're not wrong. She is the queen of this house. She is the queen of all of her subjects. That's why she likes to be above us. And she demands pats 24/7. She's actually really upset that I am streaming. And she was refusing to get off of my lap until the very last minute, which is why my stream started a little bit. Like, it didn't start late, but I usually do like 10 minutes of screen loading time. But she would not get off of my lap. So that was just my life then. She's very cute. Do cats not like being pointed at? Oh, because royalty doesn't like being pointed at? You know, she doesn't understand pointing, but she does understand if we point, like if we tap stuff. So if I tap like her, like if she's like looking for water because she keeps forgetting where her water is, she's not the smartest. Then I'll tap the water and then she'll be like, oh, water. Well, thank you, subject, for bringing me water. And I'm like, it was there the whole time, but okay. You're just unobservant, but okay. There was a while we were worried that she couldn't smell very well because like she could never find her treats unless we tapped them. But I think she's just dumb. She seems to be able to smell because anytime we open like a can of tuna, she's right there. Or anytime we like have chicken, she's there. She is there. She's waiting because that chicken should be hers. So yeah. So we think she can smell. Should be able to smell. Uh-oh, this was a mistake. Wah! Wah! Oh, well. Yeah, okay. Alright, I gotta buckle down and make a watermelon over here. Cricket's just jelly. She's just jelly. Yeah, probably. She just wants pats. She doesn't like it when I'm streaming because I'm loud. She's like, I wish you weren't so loud. Then I could sit on you. I don't have a very comfortable chair, though. I'm on a piano stool because it fits under the desk. We didn't want to take up more visual space, so I don't really have like a real chair. I'm either standing or I'm at the piano stool. So she can't sit on me while I'm doing the stream, and I think she would prefer if she could sit on me. You know? Wah! Think she would prefer to sit on me. Any plans on when I'll get the new computer? Hopefully soon so that I can stream heavier games. So I haven't had a chance to go to Akiba. Although there was a Nikkei pop, speaking of Akiba, because I know they have a Nikkei shop there. I did see a Nikkei pop-up last weekend, which I took pictures of, but I forgot to upload. Anywho, I bought stuff. I bought stickers. But anyway, so I haven't gone to Akiba. I'm never really over there. Like, that's not an area of Tokyo I'm near very often. But I do have a Thanksgiving party at the end of the month, which is like a whole week and a half after Thanksgiving, but it was fine. It's cool. And that's only a couple stations from Akiba. So maybe we'll go early and at least look at computer bits. But, you know, even if I do this quickly, it would be a Christmas present for Lumin. So... yeah, I think it won't be earlier than the end of the year. I've had a couple big expenses recently, so, yeah, I'm not sure. I also need to replace my phone pretty badly. But at the end of the year always means some expenses because it's Stella's birthday and then it's Christmas, and I try not to spend too much outside of those events until. But I could also write this off on this year's taxes, so probably will order it before the end of the year so that I can sneak it into this year's taxes. I think that would be a good idea for me to do. As I think I've mentioned this before, but I have to file taxes in 2 different places. So, and I think since the yen is worth nothing right now, I think I'm probably good on one of the places, but I don't want to be bumped into a higher tax bracket in Japan. So, I might want to declare. I might want to have a big purchase that I can write off because that will help me. That will help me not be bumped into the higher tax bracket. And other things that my tax lady has told me. She's like, yeah, you should probably make big purchases at the end of the year. And I'm like, really? And she's like, you should also get stocks. And I'm like, really? So I'm going to try and be an adult. I have a friend who's from the US. He moved to Germany to marry his wife, and he has to pay taxes in both countries. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 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 Big mood. Yeah, unless you become, I think, a citizen of a place, then some places will make you not pay in both, but at least declare in both. So I have to pay in one and declare in both, and if I make over a certain amount, I have to pay the difference in the other one. But I've never made over that certain amount. It's like a ridiculous amount of money that I don't see myself making at any point in time. So I'm not worried about that. It's just annoying because I have to file them both, and they both have deadlines. So, and for me, I'm more concerned about being in. So, like, the thing is that, like, most countries have tax brackets, right? And I'm right now in a comfortable tax bracket, but I'm slightly worried that I'll be bumped into a higher tax bracket, which means that I have to pay higher taxes. But if I make a big purchase and I declare it because I'm using it for work, then that could lower my overall thing, which will put me back in the lower tax bracket because I'm on the cusp, right? So, like, looking at my projected this year, I'd be like just barely in that higher tax bracket, which means that I will be paying more in taxes than I made, like, than was the difference. So, like, I have made about as much as I made last year, but it's like, it's not impossible that it could squeak over that bracket, but I would then be paying so much more in taxes that, like, it's not worth making more money. And so I was like, maybe I should buy a pretty big thing at the end of the year for work, because then I can squeak back into my lower tax bracket. So yeah, big brain Lumin move. I mean, everybody does this. It's just good accounting. And if like I was making like a lot more, then it would be one thing, but because it's literally like the difference of like $1,000, but then I'm paying like 6,000 more in taxes just because so basically, let's just put it in like easy terms. Say I made $10,000. That puts me in the high, or like, it's not real numbers, we're playing with fake numbers right now, but like, say last year I made $9,900 and this year I make $10,000. That puts me in a tax bracket where before, when I made $9,900, I only had to pay $1,000 in taxes, but now that I make $10,000, I have to pay $2,000, but I only made $100 more. So it's like, no! So it's better for me not to make that extra $100 so that I don't have to pay an extra $1,000 in taxes. And if you buy something really big and you're able to write it off because it's a work purchase, which this would be, that then is minus, and so it looks like I made $9,900 because the thing that I bought was for work, so I can write it off, and so that's the plan. If it looks like it's gonna squeak into that next tax bracket, and again, it would be the difference of like almost no money, like, but I would then have to pay so much more taxes, and so I'm like, I don't love that. And so when I was talking to my tax lady, because I have a whole person for that, she was like, just buy like a computer for work. And I was like, I do need a computer for streaming. And she was like, is that work? And I'm like, it's entertainment, but it's like my hobby. And she's like, do you make money from it? And I'm like, I guess. And she's like, well then, it's work, isn't it? And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I guess. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where like, you know, she's like, side hustles are work. And I was like, oh, it's like a hobby though. And she's like, close enough. So, side hustling we go. Naruhodo. And yeah, the yen is really weak at the moment, so I'm entirely not worried about the one I have to declare but not pay unless it's over like a certain thing. And again, I was saying super fake numbers, like that wouldn't be enough to live off of in Tokyo or America. I was saying super fake numbers that were just easy, like yeah. But yeah. You could even justify the computer being a work expense because you use it to write emails. Hey, I actually have a different computer for that, but sure, I could say that I use this computer. I have Discord on this computer and I do work through Discord. It's the same Discord. See. Like I do a lot of like game dev communication through Discord, and I don't usually use this computer, but I could. And yeah, like honestly, she was like, you know, if your hobby is monetized, like say she was like, pretend that you sell handmade jewelry at the flea market. That's a hobby, sure. You're just, you know, for funsies selling handmade jewelry at the flea market. But if you make money from it, it's a job. And I was like, yeah, but like it's like my hobby. And she's like, no. It's monetized. So it's a job as far as the government is concerned. And I was like, oh. And so she's like, so you can buy things for it and write it off. And I was like, can I write everything off? And she's like, you weren't? And I was like, no. And she's like, you're an entertainer, so you should write off your phone, any computer that you have ever accessed any work on. And I was like, oh. And she's like, you know, if you play games during your thing, you can write off the games. I was like, I should not do that. And she's like, you should. And I was like, what? She's like, do you wear makeup when you're working? And I'm like, yeah, I should wear makeup so that I look nice to my clients. And like when I do TV, I have to wear makeup. And she's like, write it all off. And I'm like, what? She's like, skincare? I'm like, yeah, of course I use skincare. And she's like, you have to look nice for your job, right? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, write it off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cutthroat. So yeah, she opened up like a whole new world of writing things off. And of course, like, you know, you can't like write off your like pajamas or anything. But she's like, you know, if you are posting on social media, your clothes, those are stage clothes now. And I'm like, what? She's like, you an influencer. And I was like, I don't think I am. Like, I'm not good at social media. And she's like, you don't have to be good at it. This is literally what she said. She's like, you don't have to be good at it. You just have to be doing it. And I was like, but what? And I was like, well, but like, what if like I wasn't like, you know, because there's like a difference between like the voice inside and Lumin. And I'm like, the voice inside I get because like the voice inside's a career entertainer. So I get that. But like, you know, when it comes to Lumin, it's a little bit different. So like, I don't quite understand the rules for that. And she's like, even if it's a side hustle, just count it. And I was like, okay. So now you guys know, if you guys have any side hustles, go for it. Just like, remember to consult. This is, again, do not believe girls on the internet. I'm not saying that we're not untrustworthy. I'm just saying that we might be wrong. So make sure that you consult a professional tax person. So like whether you go to H&R Block or whether you do your taxes online or whether you have a tax accountant, make sure that you consult them before you like take things out or add things in or anything. Like just make sure you're all on the up and up. Because like don't take my word for it, because like I have a very specific case, so I want to make sure that you guys like, you know, not only are you informed that this is a possibility, but that, you know, you make sure that you do things right, because you don't want to get audited. But yeah, just don't blindly believe girls on the internet. But at the same time, there could be things that you didn't know about, so definitely consult a professional, because I didn't know any of this, and I've apparently been overpaying on my taxes for the last like forever. And I was like, what? And she's like, you way overpay your taxes. And I was like, what? And she's like, you do not need to pay this much in taxes. And she's like, there's, as an entertainer in particular, there's no way you need to be paying this much. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, you don't make enough for that. She's like, girl, you don't make enough for that. And I was like, okay, tax one-sama. So yeah. I am not liable to give financial advice, but I will tell you to go get financial advice from somebody who is. Because maybe there's stuff you didn't consider. Like, I also donate to charities and stuff, and like, I had heard somewhere that was like a thing that you could do something about taxes for, but I never really thought about it because I was like, I don't do a lot, but like, you know, food banks and like, you know, some other, you know, causes like, you know, homeless, like pet shelters and stuff. Like, I have like a couple like automatic donations to like, you know, all of these like things that help children or cats or, you know, various things. And I don't donate like a lot, but like I've got a couple that come out of like my bank account monthly that I just set up to go. And she was like, do you have any like charities that you donate to? And I was like, oh yeah, I do. And she's like, do you claim them? And I was like, what? Do I what? And she's like, even if it's not that much, you should let people, like, you should let them know on your taxes that you're doing that, because that's also like a thing. And I was like, what? Oh. So yeah, like that was not my goal there, but ooh, I got a higher score than usual. Yay. So yeah, there's like so many things that like I never considered. So maybe there's some stuff that you guys haven't considered either. Coaching someone for a tournament? What kind of tournament? Yeah, please take everything with a grain of salt. Girls on the internet are not professionals of anything. I am a professional singer, so if you need throat advice, let me know. But otherwise, the only thing I can say is talk to a real professional. But maybe there's stuff you didn't consider. Nah. Why did you try to claim your gotcha purchases? Some weird guy. Don't do that. Oh no. Don't claim the gotchas. I don't think those are not necessary. But wait, Cinderella might be necessary. They're not necessary. Those are not needed. Ugh. She wants to learn how to defeat fire dragons. Ooh. Ooh. I hope we get a financial advice VTuber someday. It's a niche that needs filling. I know there's like legal advice YouTubers and VTubers, which is really interesting. There's bartenders, which I actually follow a lot of the bartender ones. I'm like, ooh, imbibe. Yeah, like there's definitely like a specialist for everything. But the only thing I specialize in is voice stuff. So I can give you like legit advice for that. But otherwise I can just recommend that you talk to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. And maybe that'll work great. Hopefully that'll work great. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, but what if we pull on stream? I don't know. I would have to ask. I think if it's money you set aside, I would have to ask. Yeah, so like that's another thing I'm also not sure about, because like I didn't mention any of that kind of thing. But like for me, like I consider like up until like literally like 2 weeks ago, I considered all of my game stuff personal purchases, even if I play them on stream, because it's not like I play Nikke just for streams. I play Nikke every day. So it's one of those things where like I could ask her, but I also completely don't like. Personally, I feel like I should just not claim them, but I don't know like what she would say. So I'll ask her, because I was wondering that myself, because it's about time to start prepping next year's taxes. I feel like I only just finished. And so, yeah, like it's one of those things where like I should probably also ask, but at the same time, like I'm not trying to get out of it, you know? Yeah. Huh. That's interesting, Frozen Madness. Yeah, I'll ask her about it, but yeah, it's just one of those things where like I never considered it wouldn't be a personal thing, but you know, I guess a lot of people are better at financial stuff than me, because like I'm bad at social media. I'm bad at finances. Like it's not that I'm bad at my own financials. I'm good at keeping track of like my expenditures and stuff like that, and like invoices, but I've never done stocks. I've always just been really like orthodox, and that I would just not like up until recently, like, even though I work from home a lot, I never claimed any part of my rent or anything. And that's another thing my tax lady was like, wait, you work from home? And I was like, oh yeah, all the time. And she's like, where's your rent? And I'm like, what? And she's like, how often do you work from home? And I'm like, are we counting the streaming? And she's like, of course we are. And I was like, oh, like every day? And she's like, how long? And I'm like, if I'm streaming, like, I could be working for up to 12 hours that day if I'm songwriting and then also streaming. And she's like, claim your rent. And I was like, all of it? And she's like, no, like calculate how much time on average per week, per year, and then like what area of your house you use, and like percentage wise of your rent. And I was like, okay, that's hard, let's do that. So I had never considered my rent or my phone bill, even though like I mostly just use my phone to talk to work things. So yeah, like lots of stuff I had never considered. And she's like, if you claim your rent, you can also claim like your electricity bill, like parts of it. And I was like, what? That seems annoying. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have time in my life to calculate that at all. In my country, 50% of meals and entertainment can be... That's awesome! Nice! I want 50% of my meals and entertainment claimable. That's great. The tax accountant's face when they realize how much money has been left on the table. Basically, yeah, like her face was like, what are you claiming then? And I was like, I claim stage outfits and my microphone. And he was like, or she was like, what? That's it? And she's like, what about your shoes? And I was like, oh, I didn't think about my shoes. I wear my shoes every day, though. And she's like, do you wear them on stage, too? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, are they special shoes because you wear them on stage sometimes? And I was like, yeah, I do kind of get fancy shoes. And she's like, claim the shoes! Luminous-chan, arigato! Grain of salt, not sand. Grand? Because that is a lot of salt. Grand of salt! Also, the saying worth their salt because salt was hard to get. I mean, salt is worth its weight in gold is a thing they also used to say. Salt used to be incredibly valuable. I think it was one of the first things that was like really treasured in like the world because like salt makes everything yummy. Makes everything nummier. Nah. Spaghetti. But yeah, my tax accountant kind of yelled at me a little bit because she was like, you suck at this. And I was like, I've been doing it on my own until now. And she's like, you never should have been doing this on your own. It's not, like, we're not that expensive. And I was like, well, I thought I could do it on my own because, like, I was just like, well, I'm just filling out papers. And she was like, no, Andy, arigato. Excel spreadsheet stream when? I do love spreadsheets. I love them. But yeah, I was just sitting there like, I mean, I'm just filling out forms. Like, I can fill out forms like, where do you work? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, it's not hard. And she's like, no, you can keep all your receipts forever and ever and ever. And then you're not allowed to do this on your own anymore. And like, yeah, like, honestly, the thing is that, like, if you can get a tax person, I recommend it. Because, like, they're not the most expensive thing in the universe. And they save you so much money. Because I was sitting there like, why are people paying for tax accountants? Like, that's like a waste of money. They're just lazy. That's what I thought. But then I realized, like, my tax accountant can save me more money than what I pay her to do it. And I was like, wait, no one told me that. I just thought I was paying somebody because I was lazy. I didn't think I'd be paying somebody to save me more money than they were, like, should they not be asking for more money? But yeah, no, she saves me more money than she asks for payment. So I'm all like, I should have been doing this the whole time. So now I know. Silly me. Should have trusted the system. Oh well. I mean, it's even better if you can do it on your own, and then also, like, be as good as a tax accountant, but I'm not. Because I just don't even consider it. You own a gold bar, like, from the movies? Like, the things that the Ocean's 11 people try and steal all the time? I've never even seen... I thought they were fake. I thought gold bars were made up for, like, old-timey movies. Uso gold bars are real, guys. I got bumped from my old account. Oh, no, Andy! You weren't hacked or anything though, right? Are you okay? YouTube's been really weird recently. Like, I've heard a lot of people have been getting like shadow banned, and things haven't been going. Like YouTube's being really weird. Like, I hope that didn't happen to you. They keep their prices low. That's a lifetime job. See, yeah. I mean, it works because like somebody like me would never have thought about it until like I found out how much it costs, and I was like, oh, that's actually not that bad. And I am very busy, so I don't really have time to do my taxes this year. Because that's what happened was, like, this last year, I was too busy to go into the tax office thing to file my taxes. So I was like, I need somebody to go for me. And so that's why I ended up getting a tax lady, is because I couldn't go. Same with, like, immigration and stuff like that. Like, if I were to file my own visa papers and everything, it would take 2 whole entire work days, not counting the paperwork that I have to prepare, and it's just like, it was too much for me to do, so I started hiring a lawyer to do it for me. But with taxes as well, I was like, I don't have time to do this anymore, so I'm gonna hire somebody to do it this year because I can't go in myself. And then it was really reasonable, and I was like, oh, that's much more reasonable than I thought. And then she was like, oh, you can be doing so much more. And I was like, what? And, yeah, now I can't go back. It's so much better. So much better. Were you shadow banned? I hope not. I don't know what's going on. Like, YouTube be weird. It's being real weird. I don't like it. So much weird shadow banning. Like, Noonchan's been having that issue, too. I don't know what's going on. I don't like it, though, because I feel like my precious, beautiful chat's being targeted. Why? Why? Gold coins minted from the mines of Cadbury? Like the chocolate company? The only Cadbury I know is Cadbury milk chocolate. YouTube! Yeah, this is why I have, like, no faith that I will ever get memberships, is because, like, you know, if you guys are getting shadow banned for literally nothing, like, oh well. I kind of don't see this going great for me. Heard someone seemingly get shadow banned for sending too many supers? Do they not want us to make this a platform that we stream on? Are they trying to make less money? I'm so confused. Because, like, YouTube gets a cut from the supers, so, like, what's the problem? Why would they not want that? Why would they not want money? Like, why do you hate money, YouTube? Why? Yeah, like, I think that's what a couple people have said, is that they thought maybe they had sent too many supers and so they got banned. And I'm like, is that a problem? Like, YouTube, you okay? You okay, bro? Everything all right? So yeah, I'm worried about YouTube there. Cause like I can understand if it's like they think it's like spam, like messages, but like supers? Feel like maybe that's not a problem. Nah. Nah. Pyong. Eh, Usa! Kiss. Come on. Nashi? Sometimes I can't send the chat through PC, but mobile goes through. Oh, I've noticed that for me too. I can't get the chat to work on my PC like ever. It only works on my phone, but I prefer watching streams on my PC, so I'm like, oi. So it's been really difficult to like watch my friends' streams and like comment because I just don't see the chat anymore. And like I'm kind of like, is it like an update issue? Like did something happen? I don't know. Super not good though. But I also noticed that was like a couple weeks ago it stopped working, so I was like, oh. Concerned. Or my AI clone is out to get me. Uh-oh. That's why we don't trust our AI clones. Alright. Grape! You can do it! Come on! That didn't work out. I don't know what I was planning there. But it didn't work. Oh, you can only do desktop? Interesting. I wonder if it's like a software thing, like depending on what software you're using. because like my Mac has just completely stopped being able to see YouTube. I've noticed that if you're not, or maybe it's the browser. So I was in a session yesterday and I was using Safari originally because I was using my Mac for the session. And we were using Source Nexus, which is like Source Connect. You can do like live recording remotely with it. And it, for some reason, only on Safari, it doesn't support high fidelity audio. And they were like, can you use Chrome? But I don't even have Chrome on my Mac. I really dislike Chrome. So I don't have it on my Mac because I don't like being spied on 24/7, you know? I don't like being spied on all the time, just sometimes. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, I don't have Chrome, and I'm not really willing to download it just for this session. But then I decided to use it on Firefox, which is honestly, it's the browser I normally use, but I use Safari for, like, business. So basically, I use Firefox for fun, Safari for business. And that's how I keep my business tabs separate from my, like, fun tabs. Some weird guy, arigato! Thank you. I'll answer your question in just a second. And anywho, so, I ended up doing it on Firefox, which worked just fine, but it was just like, oh yeah, so it could just be the browser you're on. One musical question, how does one access their chest voice? I've been told that I use too much head voice. Oh, so my best recommendation for that is laughing. It's easiest to laugh in chest voice. So like, fake laughing is really hard, but I believe in you. So, let me get farther from my mic so I don't blare your ears out. So go, ha 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 ha! That's gonna be your chest voice. Of course you can laugh in head voice if you're like, that's head voice laughing, but most people don't do that naturally. So try and make a super natural laugh. Ha ha ha! Oh, chest voice. Ha 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 ha! And there you go. And then try and harness that feeling for longer and longer. So ha 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 ha! Chest. Ha! Ooh, now it's sounding like singing a little bit. Look at you go. Ha 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 ha! Singing. And that's how you can train yourself to use your chest. And then you can play around with the pitch a little bit. So you'd be like, ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, you keep on going with your bad self. Did that help? I hope that helped. Yeah. Yes, I use 2 different browsers because I'm sussy. I mean, because I just want to keep it separate so that I'm not accidentally like, you know. Because I also don't trust myself. I'm a weak man. So like, I don't want to accidentally be like reading manga on one tab when I'm looking at my script on the other tab. So like, script, Zoom session, Source Nexus or Source Connects or whatever, like that's all gonna be on Safari except when it's Source Nexus, which is I guess gonna be on Firefox, and then Firefox has got, you know, like, you know, my net manga or, you know, my webtoons and like, you know, me like browsing for fun or playing Suika game, that's gonna be on Firefox on my Mac. My streaming computer though, I only have Chrome, but that's fine because it's my streaming computer and I don't do anything really important on it. I just stream with this computer. I literally don't use it for anything else. So, it's fine. It can spy on me. It's fine. I don't buy anything on this computer. I have 0 personal information on this computer whatsoever. All of like my YouTube admin stuff, like when I have to do admin stuff for my YouTube, I do on my other computer. So this computer literally does not know anything about me. I keep it clean. Nice! Time for some Joker impressions. Yeah. Just laugh and then wiggle around with the range a little bit so that can expand your chest range. Because I think what a lot of people do is that when they're not tapped into their entire chest voice, they generally default to head voice, especially on higher notes. So they're like, you know, which is great. But you want to be able to at least go for like a heavy chest mix. I'm not saying it has to be 100%, but like, you know, you can at least like do a heavier chest mix, because like the number one thing I hear, especially from people trying to sing J-pop or K-pop, is that they sound too head voicey, and they know it's mixed vocals, but they're like, my mixed vocals sound too head voice, and I'm like, oh, it's because the mix is too head mix. So you want to be like 60-70% chest, 30-40% head, instead of the other way around. Because then, like, if you've got that, let me show you. So, like, chest voice, right? Okay, yeah, oh, good. And then head voice, I can do the same notes in chest or head. And then when we do mixed vocals, especially when you get a little bit higher, like, that's mixed. But I have a heavy chest in there. So if I were to do that in, like, a mixed voice that was heavier on the head, it would be, right? And that sounds not J-poppy. So you want to make sure that you can, like, access more of your chest voice and make a much smoother transition. That way you're not, like, suddenly being like, I'm singing awesome chest voice, but now I'm really weak. You don't want to do that. So you want to be like, I'm singing awesome chest voice, but I'm not weak. Right? There you go. So that's how you can sort of expand your chest voice and make sure that you're not going wispy too quickly. Everybody's going to have a spot where they can only do head voice, but for me, I have made sure that is my whistle range and nothing else. I do not like head voice. I never want to really sing in head voice if I can help it. So I tend to go a little bit extra powerful, but I'm also a power type, so I would. But whatever you like and whatever mix you want to go for is good. But if you want like a more J-pop sound, or if you want like a more K-pop or J-pop or pop sound, I recommend adding a little bit more chest into your mix vocals so that it sounds a lot stronger. Dun, 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 dun. This yeah? Yeah, not none, just less. Just less. As long as they're on the same network, though, I can still spy. Yeah, I don't have Chrome. Well, I guess it is on the same network. Oh well. But, whatever. It's close. At least it doesn't know any of my passwords. So, like, doesn't know my passwords, doesn't have my card information, so I feel a little bit better about it. I assume everything is spied on constantly, but I like to mitigate it where I can. I like to mitigate it where I can. Just a little bit. Just a little. I'm like one of those people that like duct tapes my my built-in camera. Yeah, I'm one of those people that like has like duct tape over my built-in camera just in case. Just in case. I don't know. I would definitely be wearing a tinfoil hat if it looked good on me. Nah. Same, you got that. Stay safe out there, guys. I don't trust anybody on the internet. I keep saying, like, don't trust the internet, girls. You can trust me. No, okay. Yeah, I definitely want everybody to stay safe and protected, because the internet is a little bit like the Wild Wild West, and there's a lot of shadiness going on. And I don't want anybody to be caught. You know, because, like, everybody's laptops are in their rooms these days, and you're, like, getting changed. Like, what if somebody took control of your computer or camera? Ah! They'd know I have dino underwear! They'd know about my dino undies! But, you know, that's not a problem, because I love my dinosaur underpants. I even found dinosaur pajamas the other day. I've always wanted adult dinosaur pajamas, and nobody was making them because apparently not everybody wants to look like they're a 7-year-old. Weird. But I was going near a Gelato Peak. I don't know if you guys know Gelato Peak, but it's like it's a really nice like sleepwear store. Like Japan has like kind of a lot of these. It's not underwear, it's sleepwear. It's like homeware. So it's like fluffy like cardigans and like really comfy pajamas and stuff like that. Anyway, so I was in Gelato Peak, and they had a dinosaur collection, and I was like, oh yes. So I got the dinosaur collection, and that's what I wore to bed last night, and it was so comfy. And I had my dino undies and my dino pajamas, and I loved it. So many dinos. Wait, was that a timestamp? Unless it's an extremely unconventional setup, your applications can't spy. Oh, that's good to know. Good. Yeah, it shouldn't, because I don't think this computer knows about my other computers at all. It thinks it's my only one. Little does it know it's my side chick. Yeah, like, my other computers have pretty hefty firewalls. So I don't think it should be able to spy on them. I've got, like, some crazy anti-spy stuff going on the Mac because I do have so many, like, really sensitive projects and clients. So I'm pretty raw about. Also, my mom's a network security engineer, so I'm a little picky. It's literally my mom's job. So you know, stay safe. So yeah, I use a couple layers of protection there. So it should be fine. I also don't go on any shady sites, so that helps too. But you know, you never know where things are gonna come from. Like I had a friend that got hacked on Discord recently, and I was like, oof. Which, you know, if anyone ever wonders why I've got like iron Discord defenses, it's because I will not be hacked. Oops, that was my bad. So yeah. I actually don't remember the names of the programs because I just kind of let like my parents decide. But I can check them out. One of them was free for sure. Like it was a free download. And then one of them is wherever my mom works. Like, I don't know where that is. I don't know where my mom works. I don't know if like my mom still works there. So, but at one point in time, my mom worked there, and I got the security thing. And then it's also a Mac, so Macs have pretty high defense in the first place. And then we have a firewall on our network in the first. Like, we have a firewall. So should be good. Should be. I'm not saying like, you know, definitely don't test it out. Like, don't try. But you know, we're both Stella and I have pretty high security detail kind of things that we need to be careful of, so we're both pretty careful about stuff like that. Thanks for coming! Arigato! My home network's pretty secure, I would say. I'm sure everything could be. It's not like, you know, the CIA or anything, but you know, it's fairly secure. Like, but not so hard to get into that my friends can't use my Wi-Fi. It's not. My friends can still use my Wi-Fi. So, your mom definitely sees. But yeah, my mom's in a different country though, so I'm not really worried about that. And you know what? Okay, my mom can have full access to what I'm seeing. Go for it, Mom. Go for it. I have nothing to hide from my parents. I think my mom would have wilder stuff than me. My mom loves that, doesn't she? So... Oh, the scam thing was Stella. So, we think we know what happened. So, on my birthday, Stella took me to this really nice restaurant. Like a really nice one. Like too nice, like way too nice. And then, a couple weeks later, she noticed that there were like some... She's got like a card that notifies her when somebody tries to use it. And she has to approve every purchase, which is nice. I also have a card that does that. Like every time a purchase is made, I get notified in my email. And so I can be like, nuh-uh, and not approve it. And she's got a similar card. And so she was like, what is this? And I was like, huh? And so we found out somebody was trying to use her card. And so she was just like, yeah, nope. And so she noped it all away. And then she got a phone call by some guy that was claiming to be a private investigator, and she was being implicated in a crime in Kobe, which is, I live in Tokyo. Kobe is really far from here. Like, it's like a solid 3.5 hour, 4 hour Shinkansen ride from here. So she was like, what? And they were like, do you know this guy who's the English, like, equivalent of his name would have been like Jonathan Anderson or something like that, or like Michael Anderson, like a really common kind of name. Because like if you asked me, do you know Michael Anderson, I would have been like, maybe. actually. Because like it was just such a normal name. And like yeah, like John Smith or yeah, like Michael Anderson or you know, Michael Johnson or something like that. And so she was like, I don't think so. And he's like, well, your card is being used to buy illegal things, and so you are implicated in the crime because you must be his girlfriend or something who gave him money. And she was like, what? And he was like, you have to come down to Kobe. Sorry, it just got ridiculous. You have to come down to Kobe to clear your name. And she was like, and what? And then he was all like, I'm gonna confirm your address. Do you live at meow 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 meow? And she was like, yes. And I was like, stop, cut the phone, stop, cut the phone. I was like, girl, put down the phone. Don't confirm the address over the phone. And she was like, yes. And he's like, is this your full name? And is this your kind of card? Because then you're definitely a criminal. And she's like, and I'm like, cut the phone. And so she cuts the phone. She's like, I'm gonna call you back. And he's like, why are you trying to hang up the phone? And she was like, I want to confirm with our local police. I think maybe we could collaborate because I can't go down to Kobe. I've got a job. And he's all like, no, you'll be arrested. And she's like, okay, well then that would get me in touch with the police. So she's like, good. Then I can be in contact with the police, which is what I want here. And he's all like, you know, this is an ongoing investigation. You're gonna get like arrested. Like you can't do that. And she's like, yeah, okay, bye. And so she she cuts the phone in the middle of him being like, roar. And I was like, okay, time to go to the police. And so she was like, oh, and I'm like, that's a scam for sure. And she's like, what happened? And I was like, you know, probably something you bought recently or used your card for. When's the last time you used your card? And the last time because she never uses her card. Last time she'd used her card was on my birthday in August. And this was like early September maybe. And she was like, oh, I had to reserve with my whole name and our address and phone number and everything was in that reservation. I bet that's how they got it. And I'm like, yeah, you got your card scanned by one of the waiters probably, and they sold all of your information to go along with it. Because the thing is that like these scam artists and stuff like that, that's like, it's like a part-time job essentially. So like they kind of go out of their way to target people in like fancy restaurants like that. And like, you know, all of the waiters were like really young, good-looking guys that probably wanted to be in like a idol group or something like that, like Exile. It was in that kind of area too. It was like Hiro as well, which is like a really fancy area. It's like, think of it like the Beverly Hills or something of Japan. We're pretty sure that he got all of her information from the reservation and then sold it along with a scan of her card to these people. And they tried to intimidate her. So we went to the police and we were like, yo, I think we just got scammed. And he was like, what happened? And we told them all about the conversation. He's like, yeah, definitely never confirm your address. And we were like, we're scared. And he's like, we'll up the patrols in the area, but they can't really do anything. And he's like, but definitely cancel your card. And she was like, okay. And they tried to call again, but like none of their payments went through. Because she was sitting there like, how can I be implicated in a crime when none of the payments went through? And I was also like, because they're trying to scare you into coming into Kobe so they can kidnap you. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, they're not going to come all the way up to Tokyo. And even if they do, like, we also live really close to the police station. So, like, it's fine. Like, and I'll protect her. I have a baseball bat. And so, yeah, so that's basically what happened there. But that's why when you make reservations, like, you know, you can make them over, like, taberogu or, you know, hot pepper and stuff like that. But, like, they have all of your information on those reservations. So, like, what I do is my profile for all of those websites, like taberogu and, like, all of these reservation sites, it's not my real name. It's not far from my name, but it's not my real name. And I also use an old email on those that I don't use anymore. It's still alive, like the server's still alive, so it won't bounce, but like it's not actually connected to anything anymore. I have a dummy email. Yeah, not quite my real name, dummy email. And I also don't put in my full address. I put in most of it, but not all of it. So like the building's not on there and like my apartment number's not on there. It's just the general area. And I really highly recommend it. If you don't absolutely need it, try to have as little information on these websites as possible. I also just don't use my card to buy anything, but you know, I think what would have been best in that situation, this is what I always do when I can, don't pay by card. You can reserve with, you know, Taberogu or any of these like reservation apps or whatever, which generally have a lot of your information, but then pay in cash, because what are they gonna do with just your name and part of your address? So I almost always, especially for these like fancy restaurants, and if I've had to reserve with like personal information, I actually normally call them. So I almost never reserve with an app. I'll call them personally, and then they only have whatever name I gave them, which again, never my real name. I actually tend to reserve bookings for restaurants with a somewhat non-foreign sounding name, because I noticed we get better seats if my name sounds slightly Japanese. So like I go with like a nickname, like a sort of Japanesey sounding nickname. And it's a nickname I actually use, so it's fine. But yeah, I reserve with not the most foreign sounding name, and then I also, it's not my real name, and then I pay in cash. This is how you don't get scammed. I pay in cash, and I also try not to reserve with an app, because then they have too much information. But the number one thing is like, try and pay in cash when you can. It's safer. It is. It's so much safer. I know everybody's like, no, but you could get mugged. You're not gonna get mugged in Japan. You're fine. Japan is super safe, except for credit card scams. So yeah, be careful. Always call when booking. Never book through an app. Unfortunately, like Hot Pepper and Taberogo are really easy to book with. But if you can call, just call. I know calling sucks, but it's so much safer, because then they don't have any information other than whatever name you gave them and your phone number. And what are they going to do with my phone number, really? I can just not answer that phone call, because I get a lot of... Japan has a lot of phone call scams and credit card scams. So I probably get like about once or twice a month a phone call scam. And if it says no caller ID, I do not pick it up. I do not pick it up if there's no caller ID. I also don't pick it up if it's like a 050 number. If it's a number from outside Japan, not picking it up. And then I Google phone numbers I do not recognize. So as I am being called, if it doesn't go to voicemail, I assume it's not important. So I won't call it back. So my grandparents did this too. I think I come from a family of paranoid people. My grandparents did this too. They screened all their phone calls. So I'm used to this in my family. We all screen our phone calls. So I just let it ring, and then if they leave a voice message, I'll call them back, like if I want to. If they don't leave a voice message, guess it wasn't important. I leave it at that. And if it looks like it might be work, I will pick it up. If I recognize the number, I'll pick it up. But if there's no caller ID, I will never call it back. And if I can Google the number, I Google the number. So a lot of times I'll let it ring, and then I'll Google the number. I'll be like, where are you at? And then it's like Tokyo Gas or something, or like the electric company. And I'm sure they just want to upsell me, because, you know, the bills are paid. So they're just trying to upsell me, and I'm not into that. So I don't pick it up. And that is how you live a stress-free life. Don't pick up the phone. Reverse. Always Google the phone numbers. Google them. So much better. Your life will be better. Just Google. Google everything. Oh, your family is the same. Yeah, my grandparents did this like for years, like to the point where like, oh, my face froze. To the point where like I memorized their phone number because I would hear it so often, because they had one of those like messaging machines that would like be like, right? And like my grandfather had recorded it, and my grandmother still has not. Like, he unfortunately passed away almost 10 years ago now. And my grandmother has not changed the messaging system at all, so the only time I get to hear my grandpa is when I visit grandma, and it's still his voice. But it's one of my most core memories is my grandpa, because they didn't change this thing for like 50 million years. So when I was a baby star, a dwarf star, up until now, it's been the same message. He had to re-record it once when they got a new not rotary phone. That's right, they had a rotary phone. But when they got a new not like really old phone, he recorded it again and he did it with the same inflection, and I was like, yes! Sasuga my grandpa. This is a whole family of voice nerds. And so, yeah, it's one of my fondest memories, to the point where like if I ever record like an away message, it'll sound just like that. Anyway, and so yeah, so they would always let it ring, and then if they recognized the voice when the thing went, because they had it on speaker as it was going to messages, if it was like my mom or my aunt or something like that, they would then pick it up immediately, and they'd be like, hi, meow, 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 and they'd be like, oh my god, meow, thanks for calling. And everybody that knew my grandparents knew that they would wait until it went to message, and then they would pick it up if they were home, and if they weren't home, then they'll call you back. So I kind of do the same thing just on my cell phone, so I can't hear it, unfortunately, as it goes through, but I will call you back immediately if you leave a message. But nobody calls, so it's fine. Or they'll just like message me, and they'll be like, where are you at? And I'll be like, oh, okay, it's you. Okay. I love rotary phones. Yeah, when I was like really little, I would play with the rotary phone. They had like one of those big black rotary phones, and then they got like a... They kept the rotary phone for a really long time. So they had both phones ringing, and then the messaging thing was a separate phone. Like a portable, one of those portable-y ones. But they kept that rotary for forever. I think it might actually still be in the kitchen, just doesn't work anymore. But I loved that phone. It was so fun to play with. Nah. Not sure you would record a custom message these days. I would. Just to sound like my grandpa. This is meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. After the tone, please leave your name, number, and a short message. We will return your call as soon as possible. That's what it sounded like. Like the way he like sang the numbers is too. Like I loved it so much, because he was like, this is meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. I love it. He was a great singer, by the way. My grandpa, voice of an angel. Like, I have a lot of pride. I think I'm currently the best singer in my family. But that place was owned by my grandpa forever. Like, my grandpa was such an amazing singer. My mom's also an amazing singer. But, you know, I'm competitive. I currently think I might be winning slightly. Just slightly, though. Only slightly. Just a teeny bit. This young? Whoop. Nah. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. It's how I memorized their number. I could still call my grandma right now. I have that memorized. Yeah. Yeah. No! I didn't do well this time. Using numbers! No! Yeah, like my mom's side of the family has a lot of great singers. My grandma's always like, oh, I'm not very good, but my grandma's really good. My brother, not good. My little brother, pretty good. My older brother, oof, no. But my older brother's got this like really interesting... Unfortunately, he's tone deaf. It's not his fault. But he's got this really interesting form of tone deafness where he's consistently the minor progression. So like, he's tone deaf in that he's not hearing the right note, but it's not like he's not hearing notes. And so he's consistently flat in the minor key. So like, if it's like, let me give you a simple song. Let me explain this. So like, if it's like, happy birthday to you, he'll be like, happy birthday to you. It's consistent and it's amazing in its own way. Sometimes it kind of works as a nice harmony, but he's just so consistently flat in the minor. And it's an amazing ability because you can tell that if he could hear notes, he'd be a great singer because it's so consistent. It's perfect, imperfect pitch, I guess is what it is. It's perfectly imperfect pitch because, like, he's got the stability. Honestly, he had a pretty nice vibrato. He just was on the wrong note and couldn't fix it. And it was maddening because, like, he had nice voice, but he could not hear the right note. So I think if he had trained his hearing, he maybe could have gotten there, but, like, he thought he was great because as far as he was concerned, he was singing the same note as everyone else because that's what he heard. But everyone else heard just, like, a weird, buzzingly wrong minor progression. And it was honestly really fascinating. I feel like, yeah, when I feel like it's really hard for guys because they, like, their voices change, right? And you have to relearn how to use your voice. And I feel like that's the breaking point for a lot of guys.
Get it? Breaking point because their voice breaks?
Even if they were really great as children, it's really annoying to have to, like, relearn everything from zero because, like, the muscles that you use are totally different. So I feel super bad for guys. I actually kind of feel like guys who get into singing slightly later in life are lucky because they never had to, like, go through that pain of sounding like an angelic child and then needing to completely relearn. Whereas it's way less of that for female presenting vocals because they don't really change that much. Like, of course, like, the range changes a bit, but there's no, like, event in your life where your voice changes to a completely different voice at any point. It just naturally progresses slowly. So yeah, it's tough to hear your own voice from when it's coming within. I guess so. I've never really had that problem though. I don't really understand. I mean, I definitely know that what I hear is slightly different from what other people hear, but I feel like it's fairly like my voice sounds lower in tone but not in pitch to me. So, like, when I hear my voice sounds really full in my head because of all the little bones in my ears. And then when I hear it recorded, I'm like, oh, it's a little bit less full. It's not bad. It's just a little bit less full than I heard it myself. But that's natural because I've got, like, a skull and everything it's reverberating off of, and that's not happening to anyone else. But it's pitch-wise the same. But maybe some people's, like, little ears and stuff like that change the pitch a little bit. But in my case, like, it's pretty close. I have a really good idea of what I sound like, but I'm also really used to it, so there's that. There's that! Slight shift? The stars of my high school choir were all boy... Oh, the male sopranos. Oh, so beautiful. It's the best. It's the best! I have a skull? I mean, I had to make one for my human form. Normally, I'm just a ball of gas, though, yeah. That's why I gotta protect that hearing. If it goes, my job is gone. You came from a sports family, so I got no arts training. So sad. Arts are so fun. The arts, they're fun. Sorry to hear that. Well, you can have arts training over here. I'll train you for some art. Art together. Oh, arigato! Thank you, thank you. Have a little goody two shoes on the brain. Oh, and wondering if you could say sing in your Lee's voice. I don't know that Vine. Oh no! I'm on a church girl Vine. I don't know if I remember. Vine was that, like, platform where you could only make things like 6 seconds, right? I think I vaguely remember Vine. I'll have to look it up. But I can give you a, for goodness sake. Hold on, give me a sec. I'll drink some water. The NCAA, I don't know what that is. Hall of Fame is a sports ball? Okay. For goodness sake. There you go. There's a for goodness sake for you. For goodness sake, counter +1, please. I'd be super curious about studying people's bones versus their singing. You know, they do say that people's bone structure affects how they sound. Because, you know, of course it would, as it is all acoustics. Just like how, like, an opera hall or a theater is made for acoustics, for, like, a sports center, dome, stadium thing, I don't know what they're called, is not. And that's why the acoustics are so different in, like, a hall versus a stadium. But and like, you know, people who you look similar to, you'll sound similar to. And that especially goes for like when it comes to range. Because when you think about it, like if you're short, if you're of short stature, your vocal cords won't be as long. So the shorter vocal cords to go with your short little self. And so generally speaking, this is not a rule, but generally speaking, short people have higher voices on average. That's not to say there are no tall people with high voices, because you can totally have a short vocal box, even if you're tall. That happens too. I love the idea of tall people with little baby voices! For instance, I have a friend named Michelle Marie. She's a voice actress. You'll know her as Anis in Nikke. She's very tall. She's very tall. But she sounds like a cute little baby! So she has a cute little baby voice despite being very, very tall. Because Anis has a very cute voice, doesn't she? She's also My Melody in Hello Kitty and Friends. Yeah! So, yeah, we love Michelle Marie up in here. But, yeah, on average, people with...
Oh no, they're not touching.
On average, people with shorter statures will have little baby high voices. And then... like, certain face shapes and stuff. Like, for instance, somebody that has, like, a similar nose shape to me, I might be able to do a pretty good impression of. So, I do impressions here and there. Not a lot, but singing impressions is something that I do sometimes. And I'm very successful with short artists that have kind of large noses. Not large so much as like tall noses, because like I don't think I have a very big nose, but it's like a little taller than, I guess it's like, it's not a flat nose. I don't have a flat nose. So like for instance, like Ariana Grande has a cute little nose, but it's tall. So I can sound okay as Ariana Grande. I also do Shakira pretty well. I don't know why. And then Hamasaki Ayumi has a pretty tall nose for a Japanese person, so I do a good Hamasaki Ayumi. Superfly as well, taller nose. So yeah, I guess big wasn't what I was going for. Tall nose. And I do have a tall nose, so I tend to do better impressions of people with tall noses. Ne. Hoi hoi, how are you? 来てくれてありがとう. YouTube recommended me some official Hello Kitty ASMR. Oh, was that the Hello Kitty and Friends cast, or was that the other cast? So, the thing is, Sanrio has 2 English casts. One is the Sanrio of Japan cast, and the other one is this Hello Kitty and Friends cast, specifically. Hello Kitty and Friends is a specific show, and they have their own cast, since it's not canon for the Sanrio universe. It's a spin-off show. So that cast is like Michelle Marie as My Melody and maybe Choco Cat, maybe. Jennifer Yokobodi as Cinnamon Roll and Kuromi. Lindsay Shepard, I think, is Hello Kitty. I don't know though. And then there's the Sanrio of Japan global cast. That's the English cast that is used for everything that isn't Hello Kitty and Friends. And they are different people. Sanrio does not announce their voice actors. There are no voice actors, actually. So because the characters are how do I want to phrase this? The magic of things. Magic. It's magic, okay? Magic. So yeah, there's nothing behind that screen. Yeah, and that's true of both the English cast and the Japanese cast. Officially, they do not exist. You didn't hear anything. The voice is Godzilla. I don't know. Godzilla might not be a voice. Godzilla might be generated. I'm not sure. Magic. There are no VAs. Hello Kitty is exactly. Hello Kitty is Hello Kitty. There's no such thing as voice actor in Hello Kitty. So, exactly. Nah, it's magic. Pokemon, not the games and not the anime is like that too. So Pokemon actually has like a lot of content that is neither the games or the animation. So like the shows, like the stage shows or the theme park stuff or the YouTube channel, this and that. Those are also magic! Pikachu is Pikachu! Okay? Okay. So that's the official stance that both the Pokemon Company and Sanrio take for certain properties, and that's the difference between Sanrio Japan and Sanrio of America. Sanrio of America is a different company, so that cast is separate. So you know! Now you know. The more you know. Fun. Lumin is also magic! I am real and I am magic. They! So they a Pika! Yes! I want to be Pikachu when I grow up. I want to be Pikachu when I grow up. One day. One day. S'more ramen? Like, as in, like, s'mores, but ramen? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Captain. I mean, Ash is pretty magical if he's fighting Evangelion angels across multiverses with Nikkei girls. Right? I don't know about s'mores, man. It's either gonna be delicious or... But I did have sweet pizza the other day, so maybe. It's a thing. We can believe. Believe in the heart of the s'mores. Alright. Let's see here. I want to make sure... Oh no! Oh, sad. Okay, never mind. Weep. Things are going badly. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Okay. Hold on, I can fix it. I can fix him. Okay. Maybe I can't. Hold on. I need to get this way, please. Okay, this'll work. I can do this. Or I can't. Hold on. I might not be able to do this. Hold on. Yeah? Oh! Grape-chan! That's okay, this isn't that bad. This is a fixable situation. 2K, what now? Dessert pizza was really good. We got, it was the dessert for the pizza party we had for Stella's birthday convention. Stella's birthday convention was very fun. We had 3.5 days of super awesome birthday times with Stella. So the first day I took Stella to a theme park, and we enjoyed it. We went, saw all the things, did all the stuff, and then I took her out to an incredibly fancy Italian dinner where they got fancy with the foams. Like, you know how like they're like, you know, lemon infused foam or something. That's what we did. And then okay, so let me go back. Friday night after my stream. Wait, did I stream Friday? Whatever. Friday night after whatever I did on Friday, I baked a cake. It was a German chocolate and cinnamon sugar cake. It was delicious. And then on Saturday, we woke up. We had a slice of cake for breakfast. And then I took her to a theme park where we played all day. And then we went to a fancy Italian restaurant where they got fancy with the foams. And this is not going well. And then on Sunday we had another piece of cake for breakfast. And we went and got very, very fancy parfaits. They were chestnut parfaits at the Shangri-La Hotel here in Tokyo, which is really fancy. And and then we went to a bookstore and bought books. That's a great day. And then we were also hanging out with one of our rare Pokemon friends who it's really hard to get a hold of, honestly. They're really hard to get a hold of, but they managed to make some time, so we hung out with them. Bought lots of books. We recommended her so much manga. And then, what did we have for dinner? I don't think we had dinner. Did we have dinner? We had like tapas or something. And then, Monday, which was a national holiday. It was a 3-day weekend. Monday, she didn't have work. We thought she might, but she didn't. So we woke up, ate a piece of cake, and then we played Genshin like all day. And then we went to dinner with a bunch of our friends, like Chisa, Amba, who was also in Little Goody Two Shoes as the one guy, that one character that we've never officially announced is in that game, and a whole bunch of other friends. And we had pizza, and the dessert pizza was Nutella with chocolate chips and bananas, because Amba is the banana prince. And it was really yummy, but then I had work really early on Tuesday, so we didn't stay out very late. Yeah, that guy, the shorts guy, the one with the shorts. You know who I'm talking about, the little shorts one. If you played enough of the game, you saw them. You saw them. If you finished the game, you saw them. The creepy one. The creepy one. That one. Nighty-night, Dave. Have a good night. They're characters? They're not real? Luckily, Little Goody Two Shoes. Little Goody Two Shoes knows that voice actors exist. They properly notice that we exist for them. I will have to say, as a voice actor, it is a little bit painful when there's a character that I can't... a character that I can't, like... It's not about clout so much as it is about, like, I don't get to celebrate them, right? So, it's a little bit sad sometimes, because I'm like, oh, I would love to celebrate this character, but it's a secret. So, I don't get to have fun as much. So it is really nice when we are credited. But there's also sometimes that, like, we might not be credited directly, but we are allowed to say that we worked on it, and that's always really fun, because I can at least be like, enjoy this thing that I worked really hard to make, please love it. And that's great. I like that feeling a lot, because, like, that way we can keep the magic of the series alive, while also still saying, like, this thing is awesome, and we're so proud of it, please love it. And, you know, that way you can make better use of, like, my existing, like, base as well. That's nice. Oh, is Nintendo had a real Pikachu hidden somewhere to do the voice. So, the voice for Pikachu in most of... It's not Nintendo, so the owner of Pokemon is the Pokemon Company. It's a whole company called the Pokemon Company. And Nintendo publishes the games, but everything's owned by the Pokemon Company. The IP itself is owned by, like, the intellectual property is the Pokemon Company. So whether it's the anime or the game or whatever, it's all the Pokemon Company. But there's some stuff that the Pokemon Company does the production for. So that would be like YouTube or stage shows or theme park stuff or, you know, all of that. They do the production for that themselves. And for anything that the Pokemon Company does the production for directly, that isn't anime or games, there is no cast because of the magic of Pokemon. But then the anime is produced by OLM, Oriental Light and Magic, which is a fantastic studio in Japan. They do Yokai Watch, Inazuma 11, whole bunch of stuff. Kusuriya no Hitorigoto is them, so Apothecary Diaries is them. They do a whole bunch of nice anime. They did Odd Taxi, but they're probably best known for doing Pokemon for the last, like, 30 years. So they of course are behind the production for the anime, and so they're the ones that are behind like hiring the voice actors and stuff for that in Japan. And then because that's done by the production studio. And then the games as well has Nintendo, so like they've got Nintendo's interests in mind there, so the voice actors are generally announced for that. And so the voice actor for Pikachu is Otani-san. You'll know her as Freckles, the freckled kid in Detective Conan. She's Tony Chopper in One Piece, but she's probably best known for Pikachu. And they generally use her when they can for any orderance of Pikachu. So she was not dubbed over in the English version or any other version as far as I'm aware. They do not dub her because Pikachu is Pikachu. And so Otani stays as Pikachu for the most part. But there are times that something will be made for like, you know, a YouTube channel or for a stage show where they can't bring her on. She's a really famous voice actress. She's not always available. Some of this is like, you know, for instance, like YouTube shorts or something like that. That's not going to be Otani because she's entirely too busy for that. And like, you know, it's just like Pikachu running around for like 10 seconds, so you don't really need like her to come in for that. So there's that kind of content as well, and if it's produced by the Pokemon Company, then the voice actors are generally not named or credited, and that's totally fine, since that's like a different thing. Yeah, Persona 5 Morgana too. She's like a ridiculously famous voice actor. She's amazing, and we love her. I love her. And her voice is magical, and we love her. Oh yeah, you like Odd Taxi, yatta! That's great to hear. We love Odd Taxi in this house. Yay! I always love it when people are like, I like Odd Taxi. Good! If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I know it looks whack, and I know. I know it looks whack. Just watch it. Just watch it. It's a really good mystery. It's really good. Watch it. I know I'm not helpful, but watch it. Do it. Do what I say. What would they even localize the name Pikachu as? I think it was like taken from Kinkajou, kind of, but it lights up, so Pika, which means light up. I mean, they localized some of the names, but not all of them. Like Batafuri is still Butterfree, but then some of them are totally different. Like there's the green leafy one, the cat that's like a green leafy cat. That's like Nyauha in Japanese. And it was something totally different in English. What was it? It was Sprigatito in English, and it was like, who? Nyauha dayo. So like you do have like, you know, when Nyauha, which means meow leaf. Meow leaf gets, seriously, meow leaf, Nyauha. Meow leaf gets localized as Sprigatito, but the people that do the localization for Pokemon are the Pokemon Company. That is them. It is their branch located in an English-speaking country. So it is official. It's not like the dubbing studio deciding. No, that's the Pokemon Company. They decided. They decided Satoshi-kun's Ash Ketchum. Maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know if they did it that early. They do it now, though. I know 120 million% the Pokemon Company is in charge of all of their localization now. Yeah. Yeah, Sprigatito. But it's Nyauha, meow leaf in Japanese. I think meow leaf would have been fine. But that's just me. I'm not in charge. All I know is that in Japanese he goes meow meow meow. And then in English he goes meow meow meow. He does not go Sprigatito. He goes meow meow meow. Otani-san also voiced the Sailor Moon monster that stirred feelings. We love Otani-san in this house. Like how Haruka became Mei. I actually thought Misty from Kasumi was pretty good, though. I was like, hold on, that's good, that's good. Takeshi becoming Brock seemed like it wasn't enough syllables. I wouldn't have done Brock. But I understand that Brock the Rock sounds awesome. So I get that. But I don't know if they did it that long ago. I actually think that when they first did Pokemon, it probably wasn't the Pokemon Company because Pokemon wasn't that big back then. And so I don't think they would have been able to wrestle their rights away. So I think it may have been 4 kids that decided the original stuff, and they changed some of them and didn't change others. But at the same time, I also don't see them making the decision on purpose not to cast a Pikachu. So I don't know. At the time, anime wasn't famous, and so they may have just been lazy and been like, nobody can do this. We'll just use the original. But these days, the Pokemon Company is entirely in charge of their own localizations. They have become the most globally recognized IP in the world, and they are in charge of their content. They're completely in charge. Wouldn't the game localization have come first? It may have. Yeah, but I was just thinking like in terms of like the human characters, but you're right. The Pokemon localization for the games probably came first, the Game Boy games. And they probably decided on those, but they didn't have voices. So yeah, I was thinking more for the anime because they had voices. But the anime probably just like kept whatever the game kept, and then when it came for the voices, I don't really know how they decided to do what. And as far as like the characters' names, like for the games, it was, I think his name was like Red. And so I don't think they changed it in the games. I still remember him being called Red and his rival was Blue. Or something. I don't quite remember. But, I was a fetus. I don't remember. But I know in the in the anime they changed Satoshi-kun to Ash. And I think Ash is interesting. The creator of Pokemon is named Satoshi, which I think is really cool. Very self-insert. I like that a lot. Samesies, I'd do the same thing. Yeah, I think Ash is a great name, but again, I worry about like the syllables. Like, as somebody that does dubs, I'm like, why didn't you go for a 3-syllable or at least a 2-syllable name? Like, one? Same with Brock, Takeshi. Like, he turned into Brock, so I'm like, seems like you need to fill in a lot of, especially since they're calling him Takeshi-kun. That's like 4. That's 4 syllables. Satoshi-kun, 4 syllables, and you're just gonna be like, Ash. Ash. You know? Was Ash an alt name? I don't know, because I don't know if Japan is aware of the name Ash. Or at least I don't know if they would have been in like 1995. Yeah. You got a secret identity like Spider-Man. Maybe. I am not okay with AI localizations. As somebody that works in dubbing, they're not usable scripts. And I really don't agree with AI translations whatsoever. I do quite a bit of translation, and AI can't understand culture and never will. And I think that it's so sad when that's all that's available, because so much is lost, so much is wrong. AI translations don't always understand direction of unfinished phrases, and so the AI will sometimes translate it the opposite direction. So if you're watching or reading things that use machine-generated translations, it's wrong. It just is. I'm sorry. Like, you need somebody that understands not just the culture of the language that they're translating from, but also the language that they're translating into. And I do agree that there's a little bit too much rewriting going on in many localizations around the world, which is unfortunate. A lot of people, I think, want to like leave their mark on a script, but you know, if you want to leave a mark on a script, I think you should become a writer of your own scripts. And but if you're a translator, then faithfully translate. And this is, again, coming from somebody who does translation and quality checks. It's really important that it stays faithful culturally to the thing, culturally and linguistically. So, like, you don't want to add context, but you also don't want to take away context, and you don't want to rewrite something because you think this would be better or you think this would be funnier. It's not your job to make that decision. That's the job of the original scriptwriter. And so just being, like, really as authentic as possible is incredibly important, I think. And I think everybody's line for where that line is different. But as somebody that works in this industry that is bilingual, it's unacceptable to me that AI translations are even a thing. So, yeah. Then culture changes on a daily basis. So I feel like what I'm saying, for instance, is that like language is a constantly evolving thing, and the people that make up that language are the people. And no, just we don't use AI translations in this house. Nana! I would prefer, yeah, I'm with Piku. I prefer authentically correct translations that might be feeling a little bit clunky, because, like, let's be real right now. If you're watching anime, you're watching something that came from Japan. So if what you want is not something that feels Japanese to you, maybe anime is not what you want. And so I'm very much of the mind that I would prefer a slightly clunky translation that teaches me something. Like, I don't want to equate gyaru with Valley Girl. Because A, I don't live in America. I could be an anime fan from Indonesia. Like, I don't care about Valley Girls. I'm watching anime for anime, not to be told that gyaru are the same as Valley Girls, right? And so, if what you want is a series that is localized in order to feel like it's not localized, then maybe watching things from foreign countries is not what you wanted. Just like, you know, when I watch Miraculous Ladybug, I watch it in French because, like, I don't want it to feel like an American high school. I'm watching something from France set in France. Let's learn about France. So, like, and it's the same thing, like, if I'm watching a Korean drama, I don't want it to be made into, you know, something not Korean. I want to see the Korean drama. If I'm watching anime, I want to see anime in my anime. And so I don't need it to feel like home for me. I want it to feel like Japan. I mean, my home is Japan, but I want it to feel like Japan. And I feel that way very strongly. And so I would prefer the translations be slightly clunkier. I have seen a lot of people, like, argue about if we say, like, shikata ga nai, like, no helping it. And I think we do in English. I say that. Like, you know, it's a pretty common phrase in Japanese. And I've seen translators fight over it. They're like, we don't use it, like, you know, and so we shouldn't ever translate it as, you know, can't help it. And I'm like, I use can't help it all the time. Well, can't help that. Like, it's normal. Like, maybe you just need to deal with the fact that some people say that. Like, and, like, that is literally what it's saying. So maybe we should say that, and we shouldn't find new ways to not say what they're saying. I really liked translation notes. You know, back in, like, the fan sub days when you would get, like, an essay on, like, a, you know, kubinashi yokai or something like that, where they'd be like, a kubinashi is a headless yokai. I don't mind pausing. Like, I'll be like, ooh, I learned a thing. And I understand, like, they don't want to break the continuality, and, like, you don't want to, you know, pause. You know, some people just want to, like, consume things all at once and that kind of thing. But, like, I love it when I learn something. I don't want to ever be in a situation where I want to turn my brain off entirely. Like, I love learning. Isn't it nice? And, like, that's another thing that AI would not be able to do. It would not be able to give you footnotes. So, like, it can't. It doesn't know what you do and don't know. And so, like, I really like that idea. And I would be happy to bring those back, even in official translations. But I also understand that, you know, the vast majority of fans these days are a lot more casual. Like, you know, we're all relics of a bygone era. But, you know, these days it is a lot more widespread. It's a lot more casual. Some people don't really want to learn things every second of the day. Weird. And so there's that as well. I can see why, you know, it's become how it's become. But I also think that maybe we could have two versions. There could be, like, the dumbed down version. And then there could be the version for people that actually wanted to watch the series. I mean, I'm always willing to read the subs, but I also enjoy checking out the dub just to see what they did. But even when it comes to the subs, like, you know, there are a lot of mistakes, and I can definitely tell there's a lot more machine translation being done and then it being adapted by somebody that didn't understand the Japanese. And that's what I'm currently worried about as somebody that works in this industry, is I'm noticing that, oh, this was a machine translate. So basically, I would say a very vast majority of things these days, the base might be machine translation, and then it's adapted by someone that doesn't understand the original Japanese script that well, and so it's being rewritten in parts on top of wrong AI translations, and so then you get something that's really not accurate, and that's really unfortunate, and I don't want to see any more of that. But, you know, there's not that many people that are fully fluent, and I do think that there's an argument for having a base translation and then somebody that does speak both languages go in and then adapt, because you do need the dialogue to sound like real dialogue. The person does have to be able to write pretty well, but it would be best if they speak both languages as well to get two different perspectives on it. So that's kind of like my workflow, is like I have somebody I trust a lot do the base of the translation, and then I do the quality checking on top of that. And I'm also bilingual, so I reference the original and I reference their translation, and sometimes I scrap everything. Sometimes I go with the base of what they've said, and they're also fully bilingual, fantastic, just not a writer. And I'm not definitely a writer, but I like to keep things as authentic as possible. So like if I've noticed, oh, like my translator friend didn't think this was relevant, so kind of left it out, let me put that back in. Or like, oh, they kind of added a little bit of an inference that I don't really think needs to exist, so I'm going to take it out because that's not definitely what they're inferring, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. It's definitely something that I have done while quality checking. So there's that. Nah. But yeah. I mean, I think I would be excited to see dubs get more and more. Like the thing is that like I don't want to write off all dubs again as somebody that's in this market. I just think that we could be doing even better. I definitely think that things have gotten better. And I would love to see them. What my dream is, I have a dream. What my dream is that I want to see the dubbing studios working directly with the Japanese production, to make sure that what's being produced is exactly the vision of the original creators, just in English. And so I would love it if the Japanese studios were present. I didn't even make a watermelon this time. I would love it if they were at the recordings. I would love it if questions we have in the script can be answered by the original creators. And I know I mentioned that I was doing some localization, which I am. Every time I do localization, I make sure that I am in contact with the rights holders to make sure that it's exactly what they want. And every once in a while, like there's something called a KMP, which is essentially what the publishers, the IP holders, give to the translators to make sure that everything is consistent and we know like everybody's name spelling, and you know, like if there's like a place called, you know, the Shinju no Mori, like is that sacred grove, sacred forest, sacred wood, sacred something else, you know, holy forest, like, you know, for like titles and stuff like that, we would want to make sure that we have that directly from the publisher. And for shows like Netflix originals all have KMPs, but I think a lot of anime is done without a KMP because there's no dialogue with the original IP holders through no fault of the dubbing studio. I'm not blaming anyone. It is not the dubbing studio. The rights are bought and there's no dialogue with the original studio, but you've now got a lot of Japanese companies not fully selling off the rights so that they can continue to be part of the productions, like Toei, Toho. The company that I work for the most often is Inti Creates. They completely produce their own dubs, so I do casting and direction for their dubs, and it's exactly the vision that they want. So the dub is, as far as Inti is concerned, the same as the Japanese version. They feel it's of the same quality, which I'm very happy to hear. And that is my dream, is to make sure that, you know, not just for English too, but like for other languages like Spanish, Portuguese, all sorts of languages. What I would love to see is more involvement with those dubbing studios and the Japanese rights holders to make sure that like the casting is exactly what they want. The script is exactly reflective of what the original script was intended to be. The direction is what they also believe in. And that's what I want to see happen in dubs from here on out. Yeah? One bad trait of translators making a statement that's ambiguous. I mean, they may not have exactly known what it was. Let's give them some credit. A lot of times they'll have questions and they have nobody they can ask. So like, there's no dialogue with the original creators. So even if they don't know like what they were trying to say, because like Japanese is a really ambiguous language. They might not know what was the goal of that sentence, and so they keep it ambiguous so that they don't mess it up. And I don't blame them for that, but that's why I'm like, they should have dialogue with the original production. Because if they did, they could be like, hey, what were you trying to say here? Because, like, I have friends that are in anime production, right? And some of them are bilingual. But even if they want to be a part of their dub, the publisher, like, say it's like Netflix or Disney Plus, the publisher might not let them because they've got special deals with certain places that do everything. And so all they can do is make a KMP and hope that it's what they wanted, but like they have zero time, like they don't get to weigh it in. So they end up seeing the finished product and the script is translated wrong. And they're like, oh man, we could have answered that. And they can tell what the translator misunderstood, because again, Japanese is such a vague language sometimes. There aren't subjects in some sentences. There's nothing you can do about it. Who's talking to who? Who's the subject? We don't know. It's not in there. It's really unclear. Oh, I have to go soon. Anyway, we gotta go now. Okay, bye. Anyway, very contextual. You guys have a super great day. I gotta go to dinner. Can't leave Chisa waiting, but in any case, it's no one's fault. Everybody's doing the best they can. You guys have a super, super duper great evening. I will see you guys again Friday for fun singing time. If you got any questions left over, let me know on Friday. I will see you then. Mata ne. See you. Bye bye. Love you. Okay, mata ne. Bye.